movie it was, but I can't believe you just also started it as soon as I said I don't know what Disney movie is. Nasty behavior right there.
Yeah, that nigga sung a Disney song. That's crazy.
Did you? Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you,
Yo, what's
my
going on to
co-host.
this week's episode of the off season? We got Zeno here along
Hey,
with
what's
the
up?
casual
Hello.
with this Fetty Wap. Like, why are you singing that?
Because I like singing question mark.
No. Because you like singing Fetty Wap. Like, say that, and
No, I just like singing
no.
in
Okay.
general
So then, why Fetty Wap of all songs?
because it's Fetty Wap.
That is not a good answer. What? Because it's Fetty Wap. What? Like, you could have did
Wow.
Usher, Chris Brown.
You see now he's hating on my preferences, guys. You
Wait a
see,
minute.
this is why you need to remember who you're talking to because
So
there's
you're not
always some
saying
hating
wait,
ass
look,
niggas in the
and you're not
best
even
friends.
like you ain't showing no love to like Nippa or nothing like that.
Who the
Like
hell that?
that, he's like literally in your he's in your vicinity. He's an artist in your vicinity.
Huh?
I'm
Interesting.
more tapped in. With,
Anyways,
man, never mind.
back to basketball
I'm more
talks.
tapped in than you, but that's neither here nor there. What's going on,
Yeah.
guys?
Stroke is
Um,
okay.
we're gonna be talking about, this episode. We're going to be talking about two teams that I'm not even gonna lie to you. We're not like super enthusiastic about talking about, but at the same time, we
We
sort of are. Because these are they do contain some young stars, and one of the teams actually looks like they're on the come up, where the
Yeet.
other one has more questions than answers that we're going to try to discover. But before that, we got four topics that we're gonna go over today, guys. So we're gonna be talking about the top 20 NBA players this upcoming season. We're gonna be talking about the most entertaining playoff series in the 2023 playoffs. So this past playoffs. We're gonna be talking about the Charlotte Hornets, and we're gonna be talking about the Utah Jazz. All right. So first, Zeno, how was the week?
Um, see that week, man, it was really
Uh,
tough. Like it was like, wow. You see how you can even let me be annoying? Like
it's
this is annoying. All right, my week was fine in general. There you go. You good now? You feel happy?
he was about to give a whole soliloquy. That's all.
That's
That's all.
crazy, man. I can't. You
I,
asked me for how my week is, and then proceeds to say, "Oh, here we go again."
I guess. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. But all right. My week was it was real
Oh,
busy.
here we go again.
Working. Oh, my week was real busy. I've been working like 10-hour shifts for the last 2 weeks, and so this week was sort of kicking my ass. But you know what? Money to be made. We sleep when
Mm-hmm.
we die. So
Money, Effie Mick.
all right, guys. So we're gonna move on.
What? All right, cool. Never mind. Never again will I ever say something nice to you. All right, carry on.
All right, we're gonna start with the top 20 NBA players. I think the top 10 is sort of consensus, like where you have them exactly ranked. I
Mm-hmm.
think is like we'll probably differentiate, especially with like players like a Devin Booker, KD, and LeBron. But I
Eat.
mean, they're all still in the top 10, so that's all that
I
matters.
feel you. I feel you.
All right, so we're gonna start. We're gonna start with the number one spot. You get
You go
you get to kick it
first.
off.
You go first.
Oh, I got Giannis.
Never mind. I go first. Jokic.
I got Giannis. No, Kimsey Baxter, nigga. What? No, you gave me the first spot. I got Giannis.
Of course, he starts it off wrong already.
I
Damn.
don't under. All right. Does it really bother you having Giannis there though?
Yes, the Giannis this season has clearly shown a regression at every part of his game. I just don't know how you can see someone who it wasn't just a normal ascension from Jokic. It was a clear and huge ascension from Jokic's side. He went from like one of the best players in the league to unstoppable offensively due to his package of one-on-one scoring
While
and
still, while
probably the
still,
best while what's called one-on-one scoring while also being one of the best playmakers, if not the best playmaker in the league. and also not being that bad defensively. He's actually average, so it's not like he's bleeding out on a lot of value. He's still bleeding a lot, some value due to the fact that although he's average, he's still the most important defensive piece on the court. So that alone, you need to be at least an above or good defensive player, and you not being that is bleeding value from the jump. But I still don't think that that still doesn't undermine the amount of talent and value you bring on the offensive end. Due to him, not only I need to also remind you this: Jokic is not a high value, what's called usage player, by the way.
Absolutely.
Meaning he doesn't need the ball in his hands. That's another wrinkle to his game that you can put another high, a high touch player like let's say Russell Westbrook in his prime, and Jokic could still play with Russell Westbrook because he doesn't need the ball in his hands. So with all of that wrinkle on his offensive game, I would take him over Giannis due to the fact that Giannis literally declined at every part of the game. And even his defense, even if you say it's still around the same tier of how it usually is, you could also argue that's really more now of the fact that, he had one of the best rim protectors in the league and one of the best guard defenders in the league that's helping him actually still keep the same value compared to, but Jokic is essentially just due to his own sheer talent, in my opinion. But hey, that's my opinion.
I hear what you're saying, and I'm not disagreeing with anything offensively that you stated about Jokic. I think Jokic, if he did anything this year, he further established how dominant he is of a offensive piece. When no matter who you put around him, he's going to routinely put forth one of the best offensive seasons that we have ever seen from the center spot. So I give you that. I guess when it comes to me, I'm looking at Giannis's defensive ability and his defensive versatility and his ability to rebound at the same level of Jokic while also manning from the roaming spot. One of the better defenses, the best defense in the NBA for, I want to say this is like the third year straight. And then offensively, although yes, I do agree that scoring wise, the way that Jokic is able to do it, especially with that level of efficiency and without having that amount of usage, given how discombobulated and uncoordinated that Milwaukee Bucks team is, the fact that Giannis was able to still be able to put forth an efficient 31 points per game this past season while still leading, being the second leader of the best defense in all of the NBA. I think that should still hold some weight. Not to mention, playmaking wise, like he continues to get better. Like I don't know what to tell you guys. Like Giannis,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I still think that you're undervaluing the efficiency when it comes to Jokic. Jokic is shooting like 26 points on, like he probably has his true shooting is like
it was like 24.5, but you could round it up to 25.
Okay, 25. Let me see. But anyways,
like
he is shooting
70% true shooting.
That is the most efficient scoring season. Yeah, it's 24.5. You're right.
Yeah.
That is the most efficient scoring season we have ever seen.
Absolutely.
Ever seen at that volume.
I'm not.
I need you.
Again. I'm not saying that if you want thinking that Jokic should be number one. I'm not refuting that doesn't have a case. Like you have a very legit case, especially this past season with the playoff run that he was able to do, that he was able to form. Even though people like to make it seem like oh wow, what we just saw from Jokic was like the most incredible thing that we've ever seen Jokic do. Jokic actually regressed in some ways on the offensive end this season. This postseason. So let's just say that. But at the same time, I understand his value is just, I guess when it comes to Giannis, whereas I value Jokic's impact on the offensive end, which is why I have him at number 2 and I have Curry shortly after. I think Giannis' defensive impact and the fact that he's not a slouch offensively when it comes to finishing around the rim.
You just don't want to give Jokic the best player in the league. That's all.
All right.
That's what it is. I feel
all right.
Because I'm sorry, man. I'm looking at what Jokic is doing, and I'm like, even as a Philly fan, and should be hating on him. Like he's just, the stuff that he's doing is just amazing. Like I can't deny his talent.
But
But
you have to also, but I'm all right. I don't think, and this isn't just you. This is in the general aspect. I think we take him for granted. I think we take for granted too far, too often what Giannis brings to the table. And that's not to say that that what you think of his offensive game is not true, but I think we have gotten used to seeing him put up these 30, 12, and 6 seasons for so long that we start to not hold it within the same caliber of
no,
some of these
the
other
issue
players.
is I get it. I'm not denying his dominance in the regular season. I'm not denying the fact that he is the best rim finisher in the league. That there is no one better as a rim finisher. He has the most finishing makes outside of probably he had the most finishes at the basket outside of maybe sorry, per game outside of Zion a season ago and 2 seasons ago. Not this season. I'm talking about this season after that.
Yeah, 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 I know.
So
I
he's
get what you're saying.
so he is a prolific rim finisher. I am not denying that, but I'm saying I would rather take someone who makes one side of the court so unbearably hard to defend against rather than another player that is great on one side and the other side he has many weaknesses in his game that you have to account for. And yes, Jokic has that on defense, but we've seen that you can actually build around that and it's not necessarily needing certain stuff. For example, oh, sorry, it's not necessarily hard to actually build around his defensive weaknesses. I'm trying to say.
But it's not
Or
hard to build around Giannis's offensive weaknesses, though.
yes, it does. You need a secondary. You need a secondary shot creator. You actually
Okay.
need a playmaker for Giannis to get into his positions to make actually create his own shot.
Okay.
With
That's
what on
it.
his team? Yeah, yes, you do. You also need probably someone to actually help him in transition as well. If unless you want him to bring up the court, which makes sense too. But I
Yeah,
think he needs.
yeah. I
I
don't think that's anything he needs. I think that would be nice to have, but that's not anything that he needs. I agree with you with the shot creating and mainly the shoot, mainly having a shot creator. Like for the Kyrie Irving sweepstakes, if the Milwaukee Bucks had not re-signed Drew Holiday and had not re-signed Chris Middleton, and they went for a player like Kyrie Irving, that would be a match made in heaven
I don't
because
think so. I think losing Drew Holiday would be
I think Kyrie Irving's shot creation is like, you
that,
know,
but I think they lose Drew Holiday's perimeter defense, which would hurt
yeah, but
their
you would still have the rim. You would still have the rim protection and the roaming of Giannis and Brook Lopez that would supply you like to at the very least, to have a defense resembling the LA Lakers from this past season. And you saw how far that got them.
But I
With
don't. But I feel like it's less. I think like you're also ignoring that they actually had some like decent-ish defenders at the point guard. Like they had Dennis Schroeder, who was actually decent. They had other like wings that could actually be switched on and actually really
oh,
be
okay, okay,
decent
I
as
get what you're
well.
saying. So you're
So
saying
no, not
Kyrie
this.
Irving is so poor of an offensive player that backcourt defense is going to like.
No, no, no. I think Kyrie Irving is great as an offensive piece. I'm saying that his defense is there's such a huge gap from his defense to Drew Holiday's that their defense on the Milwaukee Bucks is gonna have to change for him to actually really work it out. And I think losing that perimeter defense actually means that Giannis has to work harder on that defensive end. If you get what I'm
I think
saying.
that I'm not even gonna lie to you. I feel like that would be a good thing though. I feel like that would be beneficial to Giannis because that would allow because then that would cut this. I feel like there's a small narrative that's starting to build of where Giannis is being used like he's a LeBron. And he's just not that. He's not that type of player from a standpoint of a do-it-all player. Like you want him to play elite level defense while also being a competent playmaker because they got him catching the ball at the top of the key for some reason. I still didn't understand after Budenholzer being there for so many years, and then you also want him to be his own shot creator. Like he was trying to pull up in mid range, for shots that just obviously look uncomfortable for him. And so from that standpoint, like I look at that and I think if you put Kyrie Irving there, right? Like this past season, the Milwaukee Bucks were like 12th in offense and 4th in defense, right? If you put Kyrie Irving there, that flips. That flips. And at the very least, no, well, no, that flips. But truth be told, it really would be more like the fourth best offense and probably like a ninth or 10th best defense because you still have Giannis, you still have Brooke Lopez, you still have Bobby Portis. Who else is on that roster that's competent defenders? Would you give Grayson Allen the role as like a competent defender?
Yeah, it's decent, but I just feel that the drop from decent to the best, or like at least like a top three defensive guard, is like a huge drop. I do believe though that being a guard defender is less valuable compared to wing and big man defense, but I just still think that that would cause an issue for the Bucks defense.
Especially
But
with this past postseason, what that showed, like what you're saying is further proved in the first round against the Miami Heat because the elite level defense that Drew Holiday was given was not enough to stop a player in Jimmy Butler manning that Miami Heat team past the Milwaukee Bucks.
that's the thing. So imagine if that now put him. Yeah, you say that Drew Holiday can do that. Now imagine you remove Drew Holiday and you put in Kyrie Irving. Do
Kyrie
you know how
Irving,
even worse that
Kyrie Irving,
is?
Kyrie Irving, who's a far superior offensive player. So you probably aren't even in that in that position of damn, I gotta stop Jimmy Butler because our offense is stagnant.
But
You
I
don't have to
still feel
worry
like
about your
I still
offense
feel
getting
like that
stagnant.
Jimmy Butler would still be able to switch hunt him even worse than trying to switch when he was switch hunted Chris Middleton
Yeah,
and
but
switch hunting what's it called Drew Holiday. Do you know how
yeah,
insane
okay,
it
okay.
is to
When
listen. Do you know how insane it is that your whole title is that you're one of the best guard defenders that we've seen in a while, and you're being switch hunted. Do you know how insane that sounds?
that's fine. But what I'm saying is, if you have a player in Kyrie Irving, think of how dominant a pick and roll action of Kyrie Irving and Giannis. Like you could literally spam that, like throughout the postseason because of Kyrie's genius with the basketball and Giannis's genius as a finisher. And look, Kyrie's genius as a finisher as well. So like, and his genius like really all over the court. Like there's no weakness on the offensive end for Kyrie outside of maybe playmaking. But like outside of
That was the
like
other
just
thing I wanted to bring up, but to be honest with you, Drew
I'm not
Holiday and
really
Kyrie playmaking is a mid off. And then I also
exactly.
say that Chris is probably a better playmaker. All right. Oh, they're around the same similar tier, to be fair. So
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, I'm saying all of that to say when it comes to Giannis and Jokic, the conversation. Yes, I agree with you that Jokic is an amazing offensive player, but Giannis is an amazing defensive player. The gap between him and Jokic on that end is actually like closer than people want to talk about. And where was I going with this point? So yeah, the gap between Giannis and Jokic defensively is about the same size as the gap offensively between Jokic and Giannis. And then on top of that, I think that for the same problems that you think that it would take for Giannis to that you think that Giannis would need for him to be a champion again. I could also say the same for Jokic. The only difference is Jokic already has that um, he already has those people there to back him on his weaknesses, whereas Giannis does not have that. Giannis has an elderly Brooke Lopez, past his prime Chris Middleton.
elderly Brooke Lopez when he had his best rim protection
You and
season
I
ever.
both
But okay.
understand that next season Brooke Lopez is going back down to normal. We
Hey,
both know
outside is looking real nice today. I'm not gonna lie to you.
that.
But
So I don't know, but again, I say all of that, and I still go back to this main point. If you think that Jokic is number one, I'm not fighting you on it because he had an amazing fucking season. So if I have Giannis at number one, I assume Jokic is number two.
yeah,
So number three, I think we both agree Curry sits pretty comfortably there.
Luca. No, let me chill. Yeah, look, Curry.
Look, I'm not even gonna lie to you. How do you feel? Okay, because I feel like he's up next for you, right? Because
Yes,
he's up
yes,
next for
Lucas.
me.
Yeah, Lucas next
Yeah,
after
okay,
this.
okay. So I got a question for you. When it comes to Luca,
Yeah.
after this season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we both assume that Luca is gonna have, he's gonna get back to the postseason this season, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. What do you think Luca would need to do for him to surpass Curry
As a player right now, I'm
as
not
a
gonna lie
as
to
a
you.
as a player?
I don't know because I don't think he has it in him to be a better. Because the thing is with Luca and Steph is that they both dominate one side of the ball and they're not much of a positive on the other side. And I values Curry's off ball and on ball playmaking while also being able to be one of the most efficient scorers in the league and also giving you the ability to be a shot creator. So when I see all of that and understand that, well, Curry's shooting and spacing is so elite that they can put two non floor spaces on the team because Curry can space out so much from being that great of a shooter. I don't
Mhm.
know. I think the issue with I think the only way that he could do so is if he somehow becomes a great off-ball player while also displaying his ability to be a great on-ball player, which that part's really fine. We know he's one of the best on-ball players in the league. But then he also will need to somehow get to the stage where he's a decent to good defender before I can say that. That's the issue because Curry right now, even right now, I'd still say he's having like top 10, top 15 offensive seasons. Like not all time, but like from an all-time player. So I just can't actively say, yeah, Luka's on that level. I think that they're, in my opinion, I think when it comes to these players, it's Jokic and Giannis tier, Steph tier, then Luca, and then everybody. What's called Luca and everybody else. That's what I feel like it is. I feel like 1 and 2 have their own separate space. Then 3 is in his own separate space, and then 4 to 10 could be in their own thing.
I know I agree with you. I'm surprised that you didn't bring it up, but the more you were talking, the more I was thinking about does he really need to develop a better off ball skill, or does he need to just become a more efficient scorer? Because I think that that's the main thing I'm down on when I think of Luca manning the offense. I think his efficiency is like it's hit or miss. And then defensively, he's so piss poor that those things, because those are things that you never have to worry about when it comes to Curry. And you know his playmaking is good enough at this stage of his career to where he can be able to run an offense competently, outside of teams that have like very very lengthy defenders like the Lakers or the Celtics. Well, not even the Celtics, mainly just the Lakers, to be honest with you. And so I think when it comes to Luca, although yes, he has more points per game, more rebounds, more assists. He is one. He has way more usage with the ball than Curry, and then two, he does not do it at the same efficient clip that Curry does. So that's my main problem. And then obviously Curry, like you stated, Curry defensively has lately turned like the last 2 or 3 seasons. Well, no, the last 4 seasons, he has turned himself into like a positive to like a slightly above average defender in most cases.
Yeah,
And
people hyping
whereas,
up that team defense. That's crazy.
hey man, look, I think that that
That
should
that
be a
team
value.
that team that team defense is fooling you. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
well, I
I
mean,
think I think he's an I think he's a positive. That's literally it. I think you're
no, no,
just
no. But I'm saying. I think there should be some value in being a good team defender. It doesn't mean that you're a way better defender. Like I'm not saying that that Curry compared to, let's say, somebody um like Donovan Mitchell this past season. Like
hmm
the defensive gap between Donovan Mitchell and Curry is like, you know, necessarily like nip and tuck,
hmm
because one is better on one end and the other play, well, one is better as far as like on ball, the other person was better as an off ball defender. But
hmm
when it comes to Luca is so bad of a defender that there's a substantial gap between Curry and Luca.
Yeah,
Where
and I
like
feel
wherever.
like also one of the things I think he should Luca as a player. I think he should try and level up his off ball He's not off ball. His 3-point shooting, specifically catch and shoots, because he's actually not that efficient as a catch and shoot shooter. It's kind of weird. Not that efficient.
It's really not that weird because there's some players that they're a rhythmic shooter, right? So like
they're a rhythm shooter. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so like I don't know Chris Paul's percentages when he was in his prime, as far as like catch and shoot, 3-point shooting. But I know majority of the time that you saw him shoot a three, it was off of the dribble because he was used to basically getting in his bag. Like he had a go-to move that got him into his shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it looked so much smoother than if you gave him the ball and expected him to rise up and shoot it. Same thing with Luka. When you look at Luka, it's almost as if that step back is a crutch for him because
watching too much James Harden, sadly.
Facts. And so he steps back and like you can see him like warming his left leg up half the time. That gets him enough lift for him to get the shot up versus when he does a catch and shoot, he rarely is in like good shooting position.
Mm-hmm.
And so it forces him to shoot these flat threes, and that's why he's so
inefficient.
So inefficient from the catch and shoot. But I mean, that to say, Luka's still fourth, and I don't really see this fifth person really.
Joel Embiid.
Yes. I do want to say this. There was somebody that watched our video about a couple weeks ago that watched us talk about the top 10 centers, top 15 centers.
Yeah.
And I was talking about how I think AD is better than Joel Embiid.
Oh, we're not doing this. Nope. I don't want to hear this.
No. Well, I want to correct it.
Yeah.
Embiid is better than Anthony Davis.
Thank you very much.
Because
Go ahead.
Embiid is better than Anthony Davis because you have to also take into value the regular season. And it would be remiss for me to say that Luka is better than Embiid and he doesn't have the postseason postseason longevity that Joel Embiid has. But I can't do the same for Embiid versus AD. So fair enough, Embiid is better than AD in that sense. But I do feel like there is going to start to be that conversation is going to come back up later this season.
It won't.
If AD has another one of these deep postseason runs where he's performing at that elite of a defensive player level, right? Like for instance, I have AD. We haven't gotten to this point of we haven't got to this topic, which we will in the next coming weeks. But I have AD contending for the defensive player of the year next year.
Right? Oh damn!
Yeah, I have him contending because I think he'll play enough games, and I think he's that good of a defensive player, right?
Yeah. Does he know? Does he know that nigga is not playing that many games?
I think he's playing that many games.
He is not playing that many games. Why are you lying to yourself?
He's playing that many games because he just played like I want to say it was like 60 something games this year. I'm gonna check, but. I think if he puts forth that defensive, if he does it again this upcoming season of playing that well defensively, where he's like contending for like some of the better like defenders of all time with the way he was manning that Lakers defense, and he's offensively giving you 26 efficiently, like on 62% true shooting, like I find, and he's a better rebounder than Joel Embiid. And I'm not butting on that. He's a better.
Oh no, I have nothing to say about that though. Right, carry on.
Yeah, I feel like that is enough for you to legitimately make the argument if he does it again this season that he is better than Embiid because he did it in the regular season and he also did it in the postseason.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know he didn't do that.
Huh? I was sending that shit out. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Because he is not, because he's not gonna have enough games to really give that like a solid reason. Like I don't believe so.
By the way, he played 56 games.
All right, no, that's as long as you guys know. You just trying to lie to your face like that. That's crazy to me, but hey.
Damn. So I admit that I lied and didn't. You know what? Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Well, number six is AD. Okay.
Wait. No. We're not moving past this. You was able to glaze AD this whole time. I can't talk about.
You know what? You do this. I'm going to get some tea. Damn it.
you know how crazy that is that he was glazing AD for a good 3-4 minutes, and I wasn't about to get my Embiid takeoff. That's
Get your
crazy.
B gloss on. All right, bro.
Whoa, pause. Anyways, okay,
I said what I said.
go get yourself a tea. Come on now, Jesus. Imagine I'm the British one and he's out here with tea. Anyways, with Embiid, this regular season he showed that what's called he actually added a mid-range game. To be fair, he already had one for a few seasons, but like it's even more polished. He actually started using a hezzy hang dribble into a pull-up, um, and that was showing to be quite lethal in the regular season. He was the leading scorer this season. I just want to make sure how much it was, just so I don't talk out my ass for 1 second. Joel Embiid. Yeah, so he averaged 33.1 points on it was like 63% true shooting, 65.5% true shooting. That is with that amount of volume, that is one of the I believe that's actually one of the most efficient seasons in the league ever as well. So 33.1 on one of the most efficient shooting. This season, he was also underrated as a defender because if you look at the defenders around him, he was still able, while having not much defenders around him, except from I'm sorry, playing a lot of minutes outside of PJ Tucker, which at this point of time he's just a plus to like a good-ish defender, um, and D'Anthony Melton, who did play a sizable amount of minutes, but he's a guard defender, and you already know how I feel about that. I think that guard defenders, although they can be impactful, they're nowhere near
Nowhere
as
near as
much
impactful as your big man. You're absolutely right.
exactly. So outside of those two players, he's usually spits on the floor with Tyrese Maxey and James Harden, who's one of the worst defensive front courts in the league. Is it backcourts, right?
West backcourts is the guards.
Guards, yes, one of the worst defensive backcourts in the league, and he's having Tobias Harris who's I think he had like an average to a little bit above average defensive season this year, and PJ Tucker, and he's able to hold them down to a top 10, top an eighth out of the 30 teams defensive rating. I think this season he was an elite rim protector, and really inside the paint, he had a huge amount of paint deterrence as well. When you go into the postseason as well, when you look into the postseason, he really changed that series from a defensive aspect because really and truly, if you was watching, as soon as he came back, you saw them trying to challenge Embiid to the rim, and he was just swatting them or altering their shots, and then they started taking weird floaters or jumpers just to not try and attack the rim. The issue with Embiid though is that as usual, and it's sad to say this even as a Philly fan, his playoff translation is iffy. Once again, he got injured in the first round. Once again, his efficiency with jumper has taken a dip, and once again, his inability. Keep in mind, realize how I never talked about his playmaking. There's a reason about this because although it's gotten better, he still has an issue with his playmaking. Like he just can't see through the double teams fast enough, and that's what's causing his scoring to be less lethal compared to some of the other scoring talents in the league. That's the issue with Embiid. But at the end of the day, Embiid in a regular season is one of the most dominant players in the league. Easily, I would say he had like a top 3 season in the league. In fact, yeah, he has a top 3 season in the league. He was an MVP winner, and it was actually just a race between him, Giannis, and Jokic. So yes, but due to injuries, his
Now, let me
inability
ask
to
you this.
mid
Let me
range.
ask you this.
Yes,
Do you think Embiid should have won it over Jokic?
I think it was a 3-way tie. I
Because
don't think it was
I think they all deserved it, but
exactly.
hindsight, do you think that Embiid deserved it over Jokic?
I'm gonna be dead ass with you. I wouldn't be surprised anyway they went to it.
Okay.
If it was Giannis, I still give them a little bit of a side eye because I think Giannis is a little bit away from the other two. But I'd be
Mhm.
like, okay, cool. If it was Jokic, I'd be like, hey, we've just now had another 3-time MVP. That's cool in a row. That's
Do
crazy.
you think
And if
it's
it was,
nasty? Do you think it's nasty that people try to try to hold Jokic from being able to say that
they
he
didn't
should have
try.
won
They
MVP?
succeeded. They
Yeah,
succeeded.
true.
So I'm not gonna deny it. They
Do
succeeded
you
in
think? Do
honing
you
him away
think?
from triple.
Do you think that like? Do you think that that was fair or wrong for them
Of
to
course,
do
it
it?
was unfair.
Okay.
How is it fair for someone due to literal skin color that they could not win their third MVP? Do you know how stupid that is? Of course, that's unfair. But at the end of the day, I'd rather think about the positive about that season and not the stupid narratives that were going on along. And
I
that's
get
why I
it.
wanted to focus more on their season without the narratives and how Jokic was in that season. Hands-eye coordination was probably one of the best, like floaters, hooks. Like he was efficient from every part of the court offensively, and that's why
No,
I
I
always
get,
put him down.
I get everything. I get everything you're saying. I agree wholeheartedly. I wanted to ask you that because it, it would be remiss for us to speak on how great this off season. I mean, this season was in total between the race between Embiid, Jokic, and Giannis. Like quite literally, the entire season. It was nip and tuck until like the end. Quite literally, guys. Um, but it like for us to mention all of that and not talk about how the narratives unfortunately impacted the decision because I believe even though I go hard on Embiid, I feel like
Whoa.
I feel like his regular season was like fantastic. The way in which he was able to man that Philadelphia 76ers team, given all of the turmoil over the past few years, and he still had it in him to put forth this amazing offensive season from a scoring standpoint. He upped his efficiency, everything you stated, right? Um, he deserved his MVP, but unfortunately, because of the narratives, I feel like in history they're gonna look back at this MVP and they're gonna take it away from him. They're gonna take the credit away from him, saying he really didn't deserve it.
I actually think the opposite. I actually think that people are just gonna say, okay, he was an MVP winner. Unless you deep dive into stuff like
No, but
this,
I'm
I
saying,
don't think so.
but yeah, oh, he was an MVP winner. Like that doesn't even begin to tell how good of an offensive season he had this season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna move to number 6, AD. We already spoke about AD, so we're gonna move on to number 7, and that goes to you, brother.
Oh yeah, you did get to Blaze
Yeah.
AD. Damn. Kevin Durant. Okay, so this is an
Whoa! I didn't see this coming.
what?
I did not.
What?
I
Who did
did
you think?
not see this
Who did you
coming.
think I was gonna have this high? What?
Tatum.
Oh wait, no. Kevin Durant. So, um, so
All right.
with Kevin Durant, I'm sorry to say this, man. Like, not sorry to say this. Kevin Durant this season was just electric in the regular season. He had less. He had like 50 games this season though, so that was kind of sad to see. But like sidebar, I know I'm going a little bit off tangent, but the fact that Kevin Durant has come from back from its Achilles and is still averaging like 28 points on
Talk about
such
it.
efficient season
Talk about
on
it.
like some efficiency demon type levels is insane to me. Yeah, 28.8 on. Let me check. I just want to check before I carry on with this conversation. Can I do this? Let me see.
Talk about it. Talk
I
about
can.
because I think I know
Yeah,
where you
on
go. Are we
65% true shooting. So
65% true shooting
yes,
and also talk about talk about his continuous evolution on the rim protection end.
I'm not only rim protection. I want to say help side because he's actually been a decent help side defender as well, and given what's called weak side shot blocking. So he's
Mhm.
actually like he understands that yes, he's not going to be able to be as much as the dynamic scorer that he once was. I believe so, but so he decides that he needs to find out other ways to carve his to carve a way into making his value not that much worse than he was at his peak, which
Mhm.
is his ability to be a help side rim protector. I do believe at certain points some people kind of overrate what he's doing. I still think he's a positive, a good defender, but
Mhm.
people are trying to act like he's a great or even elite, and I'm like, I don't know about that. But the fact that he's turned himself into what's called a good defender, being one of the most efficient scorers in the regular season, while also still having the ability to be a good playmaker, really and truly, what's called KD doesn't have any real weaknesses in his game. I mean, like glaring ones, like big glaring ones. The weaknesses that come into his game now when we move into the postseason, though, is that it's not that his handle is weak in general. It's because he's 7 foot that allows people to have more time to actually reach at the ball because the distance between the foot and it coming up to your hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also he also has the issue with on one-on-one defenses sometimes like they just no it's you know what it is, it's the physicality. Sometimes he can't deal with physicality, and I get it, it's because of his build, but that's kind of an issue if you're not able to really deal with more aggressive defenders, because before he would try and blow by them and attack the rim so he can actually try and be more efficient from the mid-range, because they have to now be worried about his driving. But yeah, that is one of his issues. The other issue is he's now more and more you're starting to really realize that you want to be able to set him up into a position to allow him to shoot rather than allow him to shot create, because his shot creation is becoming like I'm slowly starting to see that his shot creation is becoming less and less effective in the postseason. Maybe
Absolutely.
it's just him missing shots that he's supposed to make, but his shot creations. Why are you laughing about that? I think one of his.
Because I think
I,
he said that. I think he said that crazy shit before.
I hope you know that was not me trying to imitate him, but I think that's probably one of his other issues, though. So, and then I feel like I'm missing something. Add on to that if you can.
um, as far as like his flaws or
Yes,
his
flaws.
you spoke about his lack of a ball handle due to his size, obviously.
Hmm.
You spoke about his inability to defend on ball consistently. Have you talked about that?
I haven't said that. No, Karen.
Okay. Yeah, so he struggles with defending on ball consistently, especially with shifty players. So like for instance, a player in Tatum who has a pretty tight handle for his size and is like about KD's size, he's able to routinely get past KD, because KD just does not have the foot speed to keep up, and he's not he just although his defensive IQ has gotten better with age, he just simply cannot understand the concept of not following the feet but following the ball. And so it gets him in a lot of like sticky situations where players that really should not be getting like by him because the defense is set, he gambles and he ends up getting blown by sometimes, or caught off guard with the dribble move. And so that's his problem on the on ball set. You spoke about his playmaking. Have you talked about his rebounding?
His rebounding, no, I haven't brought up that either. Go ahead.
Okay, so his rebounding, although the numbers remain consistent, it consistent. If you watch him play, he has started to become lazier when it comes for contesting for the rebound, as in like boxing out, attacking the boards when everybody else is like covering their guy. And 9 times out of 10, his guy is the one that's putting up the shot. He just doesn't go for the ball, which gives the other team another opportunity. Now, granted, you could make the argument that that is probably because he had to take care of the majority of the bulk of the offensive end for the Nets at the time. But then I would have you watch the Phoenix Suns series against the Denver Nuggets, where there was plenty of situations where Jokic was out of the play. Jokic was out of the play. Jamal Murray was out of the play. Aaron Gordon was out of the play. And you would have players like Christian Brown, Bruce Brown, Jeff Green getting these offensive boards that they had no business getting because KD was right there and he just did not have the energy to go for the ball. So I think that is something that he like continuously is dropping off with. But mainly all the flaws that's going on with KD is flaws that we either knew already, or they're just you just chalk it up to older age. This guy is like 30 something years old now.
That's what I was trying to bring up to.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
realize he is going
working.
to this is gonna be year 16 KD. And for
Yes,
him to be able to play at this elite level is something commendable. Because we
absolutely.
bring that up with LeBron. We some when CP3 was still being CP3, we brought that up with CP3. But one of the things that we need to understand is Kevin Durant is old too, but is still playing at a top 10 tier level.
Yeah,
We need to
absolutely.
give more praise about that. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, and that leads me to what I was hoping that you would guide this into is his all-time position, because I think quiet is kept. He is verging with the longevity, because you have people like me that value longevity very heavily for how long you can maintain a level of greatness. KD is teetering, like he has about 2 seasons before I can legit make a case that his greatness could borderline be a top 12 position.
Damn.
And I mean, because when I think of my top 10, right, the people that's left out, unfortunately, is players like Larry Bird, Wilt Chamberlain, Julius Erving, right? Julius Erving doesn't have the longevity in the NBA that you would like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wilt Chamberlain, although having the great stats during the doing the that era of basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
We also understand that he underachieved heavily time and time again, given the competition and whatnot, right? And his
Yep.
numbers fell off like significantly, and efficiency fell off significantly, right? Larry Bird, well, at least how I feel about Larry Bird, whenever he didn't have like a competent playmaker alongside of him, he failed to be able to run the offense, consistently, right? When it comes to a player like KD, you can make that same argument that those are his same problems, and he has longer longevity than Larry Bird. So I could literally say KD at this point, after like 16 or 17 years, has the longevity talk and the greatness offensively for me to say he is a top 12 player.
Do you think that KD at this stage of his career is having all-time level
Oh no,
season?
no.
So I'd then have to disagree with you because I think that Larry Bird has more all-time level seasons than KD. Because I think
That's fair, but what do you do when you have multiple seasons of like multiple MVP caliber seasons?
okay, so I feel like multiple MVP caliber seasons. I feel like it's also kind of that's the other. Oh, Jesus Christ! The other issue with KD is the amount of games that he misses as well during the regular season. It's kind of the what's what I'm looking for, the Kawhi Leonard kind of problem, in the sense that, like, yes, he's constantly playing these games, and yes, he's still able to play at this elite, but he's missing like half the season consistently. The first year back, 35 games. Of course, that's a shortened season. So it was like 72. Was that 35, 36?
70.
Yeah, so 36 out of 72 would be half the season. Yeah, he missed one more than half the season. The next year
Wait,
he
you
played
talking about
55
what
games.
season we talking about? 2021 season?
Yeah, 2021 season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so 2020, so it's good. The next season, 55 games. So that's a little bit more games over the half, but you're still missing a lot of value because he's just not on the court. And then the next season, 47 games out of 82. That's still a lot of the season just gone. So at a
Yeah.
certain point, I get it, and that's what I mean. His longevity is amazing, but when you're missing consistently that amount of games, I can't bring
Well,
him to this
that's what I'm
stage.
saying. If he puts forward 2 more seasons, right? So that would be year 17 putting towards another MVP caliber season. And obviously, like I didn't add that caveat, but no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
He has to play at minimum 65 games, right? I think that that's fair, right?
I don't think
At
he's ever gonna
minimum.
have one of those series seasons again.
I
I'm not
mean,
gonna lie to you.
if you want to be honest, the reason there's reasons for why. Like when during the 72 game season in 2021, the reason why he played 35, he only played 35 is because the head coach was resting them like on and off, right? Like
Fair enough.
he didn't want him to tear the ace, he didn't want him to tear the Achilles, right?
Yo, what's up? What's up, man?
Oh, what's up, Mood?
You good, man?
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah. We'll talk
What's
about
um,
KD and
what number y'all on?
we're
7.
on 7. We're about to move on to 8.
Uh,
But
Yes.
yeah, so I get what you're saying. I guess what I'm saying is he had, even if you, let's say you disqualify his Brooklyn seasons, right? So that's 21. That's like two or three seasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
He still has OKC for a decade almost, where
Yeah.
he was putting forth like routinely like 38-4 or 38-5, right? And giving you like, let's say a positive, an average defensive value, right? And then you get the 3 Golden State seasons, right, where he was giving you MVP caliber offensive seasons, and 1 or 2 of those seasons he was giving you good to great defensive value. That's still enough to where if you add 2 more seasons of MVP caliber play for like a longer point of the season, like bare minimum 65 games, that should contend with a player in Larry Bird, who I think his all-time great seasons is like what, 6 seasons, 6 or 7 seasons.
Probably at 8 or 9.
Yeah, so KD would have like, I think he would trump him by like 5 or 6 seasons of MVP caliber play. And I get, when it comes to me, I value longevity. Like if I get a longer a player that plays at an MVP caliber level for a longer time than this player that plays at an all-time level for only like 6 or 7 years, I'm gonna take that player.
Yes, actually, no, you're right. About from 81 to like 88, I'd say, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess at that point I would just take KD's longevity over Larry Bird's. Again, all of this is hypothetical, but if that's the case, KD could be entering into top 12 conversations very, very soon. But yo, Mood, since you jumped in, so far the list is Giannis, Jokic, Curry. Well, Giannis and Jokic is like they can
interchangeable.
Yeah, interchangeable. Curry is 3rd, Luka's 4th, Embiid is 5th, AD is 6th, and KD is 7th. So who do you got for 8th?
Wait, what you said? Say it
we
again.
Have Giannis and Jokic, who are interchangeable at 1 or 2. Curry is 3rd.
That's wild.
That's wild. Oh well, we already talked about Luka. We didn't already talked about Giannis and Jokic. I'm not going back. But Curry is 3rd, Luka's 4th, Embiid is 5th, AD is 6th, KD is 7th. Who you got?
Me? Hello.
Oh, he's muted. He's muted.
All right. You wanna turn this?
Is it me? Is it me? Yeah,
no, it's not.
KD.
Hold on, one second, y'all.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go. Since you didn't pick him, and this sort of fucked up my list because you put KD at the 8th spot.
Yep. Okay.
You put KD at the 7th spot. I feel like I gotta put Tatum at the 8th, right?
Oh yeah. Man, my shit's tripping.
Yo, you good, bro?
To me, I think it's more Steph and Giannis, more interchangeable. I think Jokic just ran away with the number 1 spot. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you.
After this season, I think Jokic just ran away with the number 1 spot. I get during the season, I even forgot to add on the what's called the playoff translation too. But hey, sorry, carry on. Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna go let you. I looked into that, and to be honest with you, Giannis's translation, like playoff translation, really isn't as bad as you would like to.
What?
It's not as. It's not. It depends on what you like.
Free throws. Show free throw percentage.
Free throw percentage. You got me.
His efficiency in the
free throw percentage is like, bro,
he drops.
He's shooting like.
The thing is with Giannis, like 50, his whole team drops. That's the thing with Giannis.
Can I also say something to you? I just want you to know he averaged 23.3 points on 52% true shooting. In 52%, it was called 52.5%.
In 3 games.
Yes, but you're saying his translation isn't that bad when it was bad. Yes, he was injured.
This past season, but he only played 3 games and he was
But
hurt.
We're talking about this past season, no?
But he was hurt.
Okay, then, and that's why I'm giving Jokic the benefit of the doubt, because he wasn't hurt and he was able to show it.
That's why I'm giving Giannis the benefit of the doubt, because he was hurt. He didn't.
Hold on. Give me your top 5 then. Give me your top 5.
Giannis, Jokic, Curry, Luka, and Embiid.
First, like if we you giving people benefit of doubt because they was hurt. They got a guy in Los Angeles that should be out there. That like he got the translation.
If you're alluding to Anthony Davis, we literally
no, he's talking about Kawhi.
Yes, that guy right there. When we talk about translation,
that's not. Hold on, but at that point, that's not even me giving him the benefit of the doubt. That's me basically just acting like I didn't see this nigga.
What you mean? That nigga was performing like one of the best players we have ever seen in the playoffs. Like
Kawhi only played this season
55 games.
He played 55 games.
Yes, which is more than AD.
And then he played 2 games.
And more than KD, I think.
And then he played 2 games in the postseason versus Giannis, who played the same amount in the postseason this past season, right?
Yes.
Then in the regular season, he played 63.
Yeah, that's cool right there. But the translation in the playoffs.
Hey yo, wait, move. 8 more games is moving him, man. 8 more games.
8 more games.
But who performed better in the playoffs though? That what matters.
If we're including Kawhi Leonard when healthy, I think this whole list ends up getting blown up. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I don't even.
I actually made a list. My list was when everybody is healthy, and I got Kawhi Leonard at 4. Like, there's barely players that are better than Kawhi Leonard.
I think Kawhi Leonard and Giannis is interchangeable. If Kawhi Leonard is healthy, I think
I'd agree with that.
I think it's interchangeable. Like, you think? Wait, you don't think Giannis is close to Kawhi when healthy?
I think it's the other way around. I think Kawhi is probably, just like Moose said, 4.
No,
as I said already, I said that Steph, Jokic, and Giannis are in their tier of their own. Of course, I said I had Steph below that, but I'm saying them 3 collectively are in a tier below, and every other player.
But I do think
no. But if Kawhi Leonard
was healthy,
I think he's not in that tier. I don't think he's on that tier. I think he's just below them, like barely below them, but he's still below them.
I think if he's not, he's close to it.
Go ahead, move. Go ahead.
If he's not, he's damn near like a penny from it.
I feel like
he's right on it.
Respect
not that tier.
Respect to Curry, but I think if Kawhi is healthy, I think Kawhi's defensive impact, his offensive like trajectory, and how it continues to like skyrocket in the postseason, especially with his development in the playmaking department before he got hurt, like before the ACL injury. I think he has the 3rd spot, and it's interchangeable between him and Giannis because of the playoff translation between the 2.
The only pushback I got on that is Kawhi is same thing with Ant. He could be one of the best wing stopper in the league. He could be one of the best defenders. Just the amount of effort and the consistency that he could do it, which is the same thing that I said with Ant. For him, he just don't do it as much. But he still got stuff in the tank defensively.
But then if you put that all together, that still doesn't mean he's still elite. He's probably below that.
Yeah, I still got him at 4. I think he's better than Luka. I think Steph better than him, and Giannis and Jokic is better than him.
Exactly. So we'll just leave it as you has it at Giannis number 1, Jokic 2, Steph 3.
Even though I don't know how Giannis number 1.
I tried to save him and say Jokic number 1, but what's his name? Luka number 5.
In the year 2023, Giannis is number 1. It's crazy.
Yeah. Grown ass man think he's number 1.
I'm not going over this again. Look, Luka.
Yeah, Luka number 5.
If we're saying Kawhi Leonard is healthy, which
you just hate Steph, and you just hate Jokic. Like, I don't see no real reason.
Can we move on? Move on.
Like, I hate Curry?
No, I'm just saying, like, there's like no definite definition of like somebody that would have like Giannis over Jokic, but
Yeah, let's get on,
Yeah.
please.
Okay. So at the 8th spot, I got Tatum. Damn, you threw me off with putting KD at 7th. To be honest with you, I think Tatum. When it comes to his game, he is continuously becoming a better playmaker
Yep,
every season.
agreed.
As a rebounder, he's actually one of the better like forward rebounders. Defensively, and I don't even think people talk about this nearly enough. They confuse him with his co-partner, Jalen Brown, and being the defensive genius. But Tatum is actually very, very. He's one of the better defensive forwards in all of the NBA. His
Mm-hmm.
efficiency is like quiet as kept. It's like is actually way better than I had originally spoken about when I first got introduced to Tatum this season. Not introduced like I didn't know who he was, but I didn't check for his statistical like efficiency beforehand. And so when I started watching him and I started looking at his efficiency, he is efficient around the rim, but he doesn't go to the rim enough.
Mm-hmm.
He's efficient as a mid-range shooter, but he doesn't go to the mid-range post a lot. He settles for 3-point shots, even though he's like average to like below average in some respects. And he doesn't do catch and shoot threes nearly as often as he should, because that's actually one of his strong suits when around the 3-point perimeter. He's a good free throw shooter. Again with the playmaking, and then yeah, I don't really think there's too much to talk about. I really want to talk about this. I don't think there's too much to talk about with this positive, because I think everybody should know how great Tatum is when he's on. The problem is Tatum is not on nearly as much as he should be. Like he sometimes he just checks out and
Mm-hmm.
he gives the ball to his counterparts and Jalen Brown and Marcus Smart and Derek White and Malcolm Brogdon. Like he's literally been gifted a slew of other options to give the ball to, like give away that playmaking responsibility, and it has in turn turned him sort of into like this complacent superstar. Dare I say one of the more complacent superstars we've seen in this last decade, because he has the potential to average 30 to 35 whenever he wants to. And for some reason, he settles for like these measly 25-point outings, taking only like 15, 16 shots on Jalen Brown to shoot 8 more shots than him. Like it really gets sickening at some point. So
hey
that's
Khalil,
it.
Yo, hey, what's up, Kilo?
hey
What's good, little
Khalil.
bro?
Yo, what's going
Uh,
on, man?
we are on number 8 because Mr. Casual over here wanted to go on his soliloquy about Jason Tatum, grown ass
Oh,
man.
okay. Anyway,
So
but
we're
yeah,
now on.
you got any rebuttals on him?
No, not necessarily. I just think that the reason why he's not as efficient as you think he is one, like you said, his mentality. Two, his weirdly, like you've heard me constantly call him. He's a 6'9" James Harden. And he's weirdly like removed part of his game, and he's like removed the post moves, which actually helped him, because at the end of the day, even though in the finals it was a bad showing, his post game, that the ability to play make out of the post, which he already had, opened up the offense even more. And he's actually a decent mid-range shooter, whether it's posting up and everything like that. It was just not as refined as you wanted it to be
Yeah,
at the time. And him just removing that from his game and essentially just saying 3-point shots and attacking a rim was just probably the worst decision he decided to do in that situation. I
right.
also believe that he needs to attack the rim way more. He's unstoppable. When he gets to that rim, it doesn't matter who's there. Like he's so good at finishing through contact, finishing, avoiding contact. He has many ways, and like his bag at the rim is kind of, I'm not gonna lie to you, as much as I just like Celtic players, kind of huge, kind of huge. Pause.
So y'all
Um,
got Tatum as the eighth best player in the NBA?
I I
was it
I
8th or
I would
9th?
have him. No, I would have him at 7th, but they unfortunately Zeno chose KD over him, so I had to settle for 8th.
Fortunately,
Oh,
Unfortunately,
I got him at like I got him up 9, but that's me.
Just
I
to
got
tell
a
you,
certified list, and I got Tatum at 12.
damn.
His list not certified. His list not
It is certified.
don't like
I'm curious as to who you got ahead of
no.
him.
Oh, the people I got ahead of him, LeBron.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Let me just say all the people straight up: Jokic, Curry, Giannis, Kawhi, Luka, Embiid, AD, LeBron, KD, Dame, Jimmy.
Damn.
And I'm thinking about putting him over Jimmy for sure. I'm not gonna lie.
He's low. I feel
I
like
think he could be 11.
Exactly, Mars.
He
Like
better than Jimmy.
L Tatum here. Like damn.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. I don't know about Tatum being 12.
He's
Also,
probably 11th. But
not to cut you off, Mars. If you do want to jump in, you can come in if you want. By the way, pause.
At first,
you don't know
Kawhi, at first when you said Kawhi, I was like, oh, okay, so he probably has a when healthy list,
it's fully
like move. But then when you kept going, you have Dame over Tatum.
Oh yeah, for sure, I got Dame over Tatum.
Dame, I don't know about Dame either.
Butler over Tatum. I'm like, okay, he's just low on Tatum's value. That's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't see like Tatum is a good wing defender. I don't think he's as good as people say he is when they say he's like a top wing defender in the NBA. I don't see that. There's still a lot of playmaking deficiencies. There's holes in his game as a scorer. He's not that efficient. Like his mid range is not good. He doesn't get to the rim a ton. I don't like that. I don't know. Like I'm just not as moved by Tatum as a lot of people, and I do think he's very easily to be schemed against as a number one option on the championship team. And I do think he's consistently had enough help to win a championship, and he just hasn't gotten it done because like his woes offensively in the playoffs.
I do also want to piggyback on what you're speaking on when you talk about his efficiency in the regular season, like efficiency wise, like he's about what you would expect, right? Given like how much he operates in the perimeter, but it dips. As far as like him as a 3-point shooter, more times than usual in the postseason. Like I think it's only like 2 or 3 seasons that he's actually like had like a significant above average 3-point shooting postseason run. But
but the thing is with Tatum, I've been saying the same stuff with Tatum. He don't work in the inside first, then go outside.
Oh, you mean it's kind of like the PG issue where they go to the
By the way, there's not 15 wing defenders better than
He settled for jumpers than
better wing defenders.
There's not 15. He's just not top 10. When I say top defender in your position, like it's not 15. When I say top, it's more like 5 to 10.
So you can name 5 better wing defenders than him.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Can you name?
Dylan Brooks, Herb Jones, Jaden McDaniels, Jared Vanderbilt. If we're counting Matisse Thybulle, we can count Matisse Thybulle.
He's more of a guard defender, but carry on.
Okay, then if you don't want to count Matisse Thybulle, then Andrew Wiggins was a better defender than Tatum this season too. So that's my right there.
Hey, look, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like the names he just listed, I'm really not mad at it.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's off the top of my head too.
You actually making sense with it though. All right. Well, Khalil, you got the honors. We got the 9th spot open.
Oh yeah, and Jimmy and Kawhi are better defenders than when they play.
Well, I'll give you Jimmy. Kawhi just.
I don't like the.
He might be onto something. He says off-ball defense.
I didn't like one of them, but I forgot which one that you said.
If you're an amazing on-ball defender, like let's say like a Jaden McDaniels is, right? And off-ball defensively, like you have that value as well. Especially like Zeno, you talk about, you praise Jimmy for his off-ball defense like all the time. Like yeah, so I don't know. It's a very like interesting concept. I don't know.
Number 9.
Yeah, you got the 9th spot.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
I got KD at 9.
We already have KD. I got him at 7 door.
The reason why I got KD at 9, I think KD.
No. He already put KD.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you want us to tell you the whole 8 plays we have, just to make sure?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we have Giannis at number 1, casual. Jokic number 2. Yeah, sure. Number 3 is Steph. Number 4 is Kawhi. Number 5. No, because we added in Kawhi too.
Okay. So you're adding Kawhi
adding Kawhi in. Yeah.
Okay, so I need to fix this.
Yeah, that's what I tried to tell you earlier, but I think you just didn't realize. Number 5 is Luka. Number 6 is Embiid. Number 7 is Durant, right?
It's AD.
AD. Then Durant is number 8.
And then Tatum is 9.
So you're 10 now. You're at 10.
All right, so Dame hasn't been said.
No, Dame has not been said.
Nope.
Oh wait, LeBron hasn't been said too?
Nope, he has not been said.
Yeah, then I'd put LeBron right there. I think
wait.
L Khalil.
LLWLLWLLW. Hey man. It's crazy because it almost is like every time wait, what do you mean LL? What the fuck? I'm confused now. Anyways, let's move on.
Apparently Curry is better. No. Okay. I think what he's saying is
the placement.
He said flip. I think he's saying flip.
Oh, he said flip. So Jokic is the W.
Luka's better than Kawhi.
No, that could be it because the L is Giannis.
Giannis and Jokic is the 2 L's, right?
Oh wait, I'm stupid. Wait. So Luke was called. Why are we even putting on this?
Tell him come on the show. Tell him come on the show.
Nah, he ain't trying to come in.
Jokic is better than Giannis. He's saying
Pause.
Luka's better than Kawhi. And he's saying KD is better than AD.
Anyways, I don't know why we're thinking too much.
But anywho,
yeah, Jokic and Giannis flip. Yeah, I realized that.
Yeah,
I realized that from the jump. Yeah, I was realizing. But
okay. So you said LeBron at 10.
Yeah, I put LeBron exactly. I mean, I put LeBron there. I'd put him above Tatum on my list, but that is fine. I think y'all can agree they're probably interchangeable.
Yeah, go ahead and speak about it.
I think LeBron is probably still a top 4 passer in the league. I do think he's still the 3rd best finisher in the NBA. He's one of the best driving kickers in the NBA still. One of the best offensive players in the league still because of his playmaking value. He did have a down year efficiency wise from the 3. Because he shot a lot from there. I don't know what he was on with the pull-up threes this season.
I think also you need to add on the fact that he had the broken foot, so he's just trying to not.
Yeah. Before he broke his foot, he was averaging 34 in like a 15-game stretch. Like 10 of the games were without AD, and even without AD, I think we're like 6-4 in that 10-game stretch while playing good teams. Mm-hmm. He's still one of the best forwards in the league for sure. Defensively, he's taken a massive dip since he got injured in 2021, but he's still a good help side wing defender. I mean, a help side rim protector for a wing. He showed that in the playoffs too. I think a lot of people downplay what LeBron did this season because how bad he was. I mean, how bad he was relative to how he is compared to other years and his age and obviously his foot injury. But I think if you look at it from a face value and you take away the name and the age, I think people would literally like if you name LeBron James like Dylan Brooks or some shit, and like he was a 25-year-old who just got in the league and he did what LeBron did this season, people would universally think he's top 10 in my opinion. But it's all right.
I just think the reason why people have an issue with him is his rim finishing taking a dip in the playoffs, while also his 3-point shooting taking a dip as well. But I do believe that.
I mean, his rim every player takes a dip against the Grizzlies finishing wise. Against the Nuggets, he was really good at the rim. So
yeah, I do agree with that. But I was talking about
Mark.
Of course, Moo's talking about that. Let's listen to this boy. But anyways, I think for the most part, when I say that, of course, it's going to take a dip. But I'm saying it's kind of uncharacteristic due to how LeBron is. You know how his playoff translation, he's usually around the same efficiency or a little bit higher. So that's why I believe so.
The thing is with that, though, LeBron has dropped the last 2 playoffs he's played. But the last 2 playoffs he's played, he's been hurt. So we literally haven't seen healthy LeBron in the playoffs since 2020, and
I don't. To be honest with you, I'm not holding too much weight on this past postseason.
Yeah, for sure.
Run because we understand like he
That
was
sounds
hurt.
like another top 10 player.
He wasn't even supposed to come back.
Um,
The fact that LeBron has
holding-
played every
I'm not-
position is crazy.
It's not that I'm not saying that like the fact because the thing is, although yes he was hurt, fuck, I don't want to do this to him, but although LeBron was hurt, right? There were instances where even though you're hurt, some of the decisions that LeBron decided to make on behalf of just because he had the ball and had the ability to make that decision was like some head scratching like jump shots, some head scratching like bulldozing to the rim when you didn't have to. Like it's obviously clogged. You don't have the spacing because Austin Reeves was off the court and D'Angelo Russell was having one of his many off games this postseason, and LeBron just tried to take it upon himself to do things that we just don't expect him to do at this stage of his career. Rather than feeding more into this being Anthony Davis's team. There was also some times where he was passive as well. I don't think it's a coincidence that we saw plenty of instances that Austin Reeves was, getting his shit off without, much assistance from LeBron. I think that's because LeBron is not capable of, using the gravity he still has at this stage of his career. So I think that there is something to be said about his game at this stage of his career, even understanding that he was hurt this season. But I agree with you with the fact that he is still a phenomenal playmaker, one of the better finishers. He does get around the rim, and yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, I'd say I was perfectly fine with the LeBron decision making. If anything, he was more passive than aggressive in the postseason for sure. He was playing more off the ball in the postseason. There was some like questionable like 3-point shots he take. Like I remember game 1 against Denver where the Lakers were coming back. Then LeBron just chucked up a 3 when we were down 3 with like 30 seconds left, and that basically sealed the game for us to lose. But aside from that, he was literally been a really good off ball cutter. He was being passive towards Austin Reeves in the clutch or AD. Like the thing is, it's so much harder to get AD the ball in his spots in the clutch as an isolation scorer or post scorer because he's just not good at that. So that sometimes leads to LeBron taking bad shots offensively, especially when he has bad spacing around him when Vandal's on the court, plummeting the offense in the playoffs. And even then with the Austin Reeves thing, he still play makes well for Austin Reeves because one of the best things Austin Reeves does than anybody else in the NBA is attack closeouts, and he does that really well when LeBron hits the ball in the corner. And how was that glazed, bro? But like, I do think like LeBron still was a very good decision maker this playoffs too.
You can agree that the ability that LeBron had with taking advantage of mismatches or hunting mismatches like better than anybody else in the league. That like there would you noticed a significant like.
I was disappointed this whole season when he'd hunt mismatches. Really, the last 2 seasons when he would get like let's say a weak center on him who definitely can't guard the perimeter at all, and he wouldn't try to beat him off the dribble. He'd try to just settle for a 3. I don't know if that's him being tired or the spacing or whatever.
That's the only issue that I had with LeBron
making like having miscues this past season was just there were typical things that LeBron, even like let's say even 2021 LeBron, right, when Westbrook first got there, that you saw LeBron still able to do because he still had that capability. And this past season, like he sort of toned down on that, albeit like it was like not that much. It was still like a noticeable, difference compared to
But I do think a lot of that is foot injury too, because you can definitely see the explosiveness gone in his first step after that injury.
All right, let's stop glazing LeBron and we can move on, please.
All right, bro.
We're gonna move on to the 11th spot. That is on me,
Le Meat Rider.
W. Rider.
I'm gonna go with D-Book. I don't know how like he has fallen this far.
D-Book, grown ass man having D-Book. You see, this is the issue. He's gonna explain it, but grown ass man has D-Book over Dame is insane.
Yeah, that nigga not better than Dame.
I got D-Book better than Dame.
I got D-Book better than Dame. Yeah, I do.
Grown ass man.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. If you want to be honest, D-Book is in my top 10. But
Yeah.
since y'all didn't,
He's
fuck
like
up,
7 for him.
Yeah, he's like.
You're
So
I'm
wild.
not shooting.
You're
Got the
wild
message
for
food like
7. You're
this.
wild for
Glaze,
7.
see?
I got him
Mood, before
at
you
the
even say
most
anything,
at
before
10.
you even say anything, my list does not have Kawhi Leonard, and it just put me in there.
Nigga, they don't push him to 7.
Thank you, Mars.
Nigga, that's one player.
No, I don't have him. Wait, I don't have him 7. I don't have him 7.
Where'd you have him? 8.
No, I have him. Yeah, I have him 8.
Still
That
Glaze,
still don't
but
push him to 8.
he's still Glaze.
Okay, I'm the same one that think.
Now,
hey man, hey, I
I
keep
thought
trying
that
to tell
was the
him. I
highest
try and
guy
tell him,
on,
bro. I try and tell him.
I think D-Book. I'm the same.
I'm gonna be mute,
I'm the
by the
same
way.
one that thinks that D-Book is better than like KD and LeBron because I think that they're just old, and so I'm ready to move on from them. But I think when it comes to D-Book, especially this past season, because we're talking about this past season, he showed a lot of progression as a playmaker. I think as a defender, he's shown really the last couple of seasons that he can be a competent on-ball defender, but especially this past season with Chris Paul's regression as a defensive, a on-ball defensive player, Mikal Bridges and Devin Booker had to take on more of that onus of being being like the lead charge of of the defensive assignments, while also still maintaining that responsibility of being the go-to scorer and even taking on some of the ball handling responsibility that Chris Paul once had. And Devin Booker took that on, and he did, in my opinion, a masterful job for what I expected of him. I also feel like this past season with KD's regression in the postseason, albeit I do give KD some slack because he did not give he wasn't given a chance to really get acquainted with the Suns offense right under Monty Williams. D-Book still showed D-Book really wasn't given that opportunity either because he sort of came back around the same time KD got traded, and so he was able to be more efficient on higher volume with higher difficulty shots against the same defenses that KD went up against. So I think that I take that into account. I take into the fact that he's more mobile than some of these players that we listed. And I think D-Book deserves to be.
I got one question when you're done. One.
Go ahead. No, I'm done.
You got D-Book over LeBron since LeBron's name hasn't been said. So
wait, LeBron was 10th.
No, I'm talking about you didn't say his name.
No.
If you got him at 8,
I have D-Book over LeBron, but LeBron and D-Book is interchangeable. I don't think it's really that close. I think it's close between D-Book, LeBron, and KD.
I got D-Book a spot below LeBron, but I don't got LeBron in my top 10 either. But
I mean, but you also value players that like if they are healthy. So I don't think that way. So I don't have Kawhi Leonard in my top 10.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So but no, if you came to me and you said that KD or LeBron is better than D-Book, you're not getting too much of an argument out of me. I would disagree, but I'm not finna fight you over it.
I guess.
What after
like 20 games moves you like that?
Where do I got D Mitch? I have D Mitch right outside the top 10.
Ew.
Behind Dame.
He barely 20.
Oh,
to be real. He barely 20, to be real.
He's fighting within the top 15, but I don't know. And
then barely 20.
That made me stop watching Terrible Knowledge. I don't know. Like, if am I wrong in my observation of D-Book's game? Like, what am I missing?
Nah, it's just a fact. Like, you got him that high. That like them games that he did play excellent, which I thought I was the highest guy on D-Book because I was saying he was top 10.
Yeah, he probably has a 10. No, yeah, but he has it at 10th. You have him at 8. That's a wild thing. And then
I got him at 11. I got SGA over him. But
yeah, but if I move D-Book from if I put KD and LeBron ahead of him, is that bothering you?
Nah, I think KD is way above him, but that's me.
Yeah, you do have KD at what 7th or 6th?
Yeah, I got him wrong. Like
You know
it's
the
like
crazy thing is,
The
tell him
AD
about
range.
what do you think his progression is going to be next season. Tell him. D-Book's his
about
progression
about his-
as a
about his
player.
about his
No,
playmaking.
no. I mean in general, because you said you're gonna have him
I
as
think
top.
I think that D-Book can enter himself in his top seven talks. Because
That's
I
not
have
what you
Tatum.
said. That's not what you said. You said top 5. You said top 5.
No, I didn't. I said he could be into top 7. I literally have the message that I put in, and you said it's not that hot of a take. That's why I left it alone.
Was it top 7? Oh, okay, never mind.
It was top 7.
Okay.
I
hope you know. I thought it was top.
I said by the end of this season, D-Book, I believe D-Book will enter himself into the top 7, into the top 7 players in the NBA.
I just want to say,
I have Tatum at 7, and I think that Tatum inconsistencies is like the main thing that holds him back. And you don't have to worry about inconsistencies offensively with D-Book. I think the main inconsistency is his defense, but I think he could take, if he has a consistent season, like I think he will this season, of him playing good to great defense as a point of attack defender. I think that conversation may have to be had between D-Book and Tatum.
I think okay. My reasoning is I hope you know the reason why I haven't said that was because I thought of the premise of okay, you're starting to see regression when it comes to certain players that are above him. For example, if let's say Curry and Giannis took a huge did take a drop, or like if KD took a drop and LeBron took a drop if they were actually in his top 7, if you get what I'm saying. That's what I was thinking.
But for me, I don't see nobody but either LeBron, KD, or I see AD staying around the same range. I don't see many people in that range to take a back seat.
But yeah, what's next? We're on number 10, right?
So you don't think?
Yeah.
Wait. Let me ask. So you don't think it's because he'll get better? You think it's because people get worse?
I think it's a mixture of both.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Absolutely. I agree. Okay. So 12 goes to you, Zeno. Who you got?
What was number 11?
11th was...
See my guy.
Is it? Oh, you mean it's Dame?
Huh? No,
I want Jimmy Butler up here, but I have to respect it.
Wrong two guys.
Who are you thinking of, dog? Am I bugging? Oh, Shay, that's what you're thinking of. Oh no, I'm sorry. I have to.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna have to pick up Jimmy Butler. And yeah, I do understand. Yes, his first round dominance doesn't overshadow the other rounds of inconsistent play and inconsistent scoring. Firstly, his playmaking was always there. Yes, they started figuring out later on in the playoffs and realizing that his on-ball shot creation isn't to the tier where you need to have 2 players guarding him, because in fact, when you treat him at that level, he's good enough as a playmaker to really dissect the defense and actually, find the open player. But when you don't treat him like that player and force him one-on-one, it's harder for him to actually use his playmaking to affect the court as well as he usually does. But I still need to understand that, yes, his scoring took a dip, but his playmaking was always there. His defense did take a slight dip because of the injury, but he still was a great versatile defender. He still was a menace. Look at what happened to Jaylen Brown that series. Jaylen Brown did not like what Jimmy Butler was doing to him that whole series. So yes, as a scorer, I will strictly say I do agree. He was inefficient from that standpoint. But I think as a collective player, I think he still had a good to great playoff run. I genuinely believe so. I just think that people mostly focus more on his scoring being an issue. And then I also say in the regular season, this is probably one of his better regular seasons.
We're talking about Jimmy Butler right now, Cliff.
Yes.
All right, but wait, y'all talking about the 11th player?
Yeah. No, this is the 12th.
Yeah. 12. He should be like 14, but like
you're
gonna
all right, bro.
You see, yeah.
So Dame hasn't been said yet, right?
Yeah. No. It's gonna be.
It's actually your turn.
Hold on. It's my turn.
No, it's not. It's me next.
Is it? Oh yeah. Right.
You're talking about Dame, man. SGA.
Bro, about to pull up SGA. Shaking my head.
Oh wow.
Got to.
Another nigga better than D-Book.
He definitely
Grown-ass
better
man
than
have
Dame.
Judy
That's all
Book
I
at
know.
number 8.
He definitely better than Dame. But SGA,
Grown-ass man has D Book number 8. But can we talk about SGA
How
then?
is that a prop? You know, it's in a. You need to give me another cup of tea, man.
Hey, remember, I'm the Englishman, but he's out here drinking tea. That's crazy.
So is Moo gonna tell us about SGA or not?
Yeah, me, we're waiting for you, dog.
what you mean? Y'all niggas talking. But
But yeah, check Discord, by the way, casual. But yeah, carry on.
Look,
please.
I saw it. It's vibe. It's a vibe.
but SGA as a guard defender, I do think he's probably top 3 as a guard defender. Guard finisher. I'll be tripping. I'll be getting the words mixed up. But as a guard finisher, I think he's
You
top
almost
3
made
as
me
a
spell
guard
my
finisher in
food.
the league.
What?
While his ability to actually draw fouls and hit his free throws, this year he actually started really making his mid-range shots, hitting his free throws correctly. That was the only thing was with SGA was his free throw shooting and his ability to actually keep on drawing the fouls that he needed to. And people bring up the playoffs, not being able to make it to the playoffs, even though I do think I don't get people say that he has the ability to translate to the playoffs. But when we talk about him in that high level, people say that he don't make it to the playoffs. That's the only thing that I hate about when people talk about SGA. And I do think he's a top 3 guard mid-range player.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know too much about
SGA.
Yeah, I don't know too much about SGA, so you're not getting too much of a pushback on me.
The only thing that he's really bad at is 3-point shooting, which I do think he can bump up. I do think he's above average defender also. He's a pretty good playmaker also. That's the only thing about SGA though. Is
Pretty good.
3-point.
Pretty good.
I was waiting for Zeno to say it because that's one thing that I've heard.
Pretty good.
A couple times is
If I could name about,
You don't think Shea has like some deficiencies making more advanced passes?
yeah, if I could name a good bit of like playmakers than him, I don't. You know how my rankings go. If I could name a good bit of playmakers better than him, I don't think he's like, I got him as good though.
Okay, good is fine. I'm fine.
Okay.
With that.
Yeah. What everything
sorry.
you said, I don't know how you have him over Dame.
Yeah, because I think Dame is more dynamic scorer while being like a noticeable playmaker. But
Dynamic, but I think SGA is I think he's more dominant than Dame.
Player in his own right.
What do you mean Shea is more dominant than Dame?
No.
I'm talking to Dre. Move. Because he said Shea's more of a dominant scorer than Dame. I mean, whatever that means. But, like, Dame is just an overall better scorer than SGA, whether it comes from three-point line. Even when you want to talk about drawing fouls, Dame still draws fouls. And who's opening the bag of chips?
Oh, shit, it's me. My fault.
And even when it comes to hitting free throws at a high clip, it doesn't matter. Transition, Dame's even better. Coming off a pick and roll, you want to say dominance. Dame coming off a pick and roll is more dominant offensively at that certain action than Shea is anywhere on the court, which is just a fact. Like Dame in the pick and roll is damn near unguardable because of his ability to hit threes, pull up threes in traffic. It doesn't matter. Like literally off the rip, he can pull up for a three in any type of situation. It doesn't matter. Dame is still one of the best guard finishers in the league too. He shoots 65% at the rim, a decent amount of volume for what he does on the court. So, and he actually improved his off-ball game this year because Chauncey Billups wanted to integrate him more off-ball, and he was actually willing to do it, and it worked for the Blazers offense when he was on the court. So I don't know. I definitely don't got Shea over Dame. I got Dame as my 10th best player in the NBA. Defensively, Dame is he's not good defensively at all. He
Clear negative.
He's a negative, but I think with some of it is kind of overblown with how bad the defensive personnel around him is. So it makes his
to be honest with you,
defenses look even worse on defense.
To add on to what you're saying, Khalil, to be honest with you, Dame has never really had a backcourt mate that was actually a good defender that could actually hide his weaknesses like that.
Yeah.
He actually hasn't never had a team that is actually that competent enough defensively to hide his deficiencies, like a Curry. Although I'm not trying to say Dame's good as Curry, but I'm saying he's never had that type of defensive help that Curry has had to hide his weakness and on offense strengthen his strengths to really be that level.
Yeah.
What's up with me?
Oh, y'all didn't hear me the whole time?
Nope.
No.
Oh shit! I was combating everything that you were saying.
Cap.
His ability to not shoot the three and still be a very lethal scorer, I rank that higher than the person who the gravity of Dame, which I do think the gravity of Dame is close to none. Only like a few players with the gravity can score at that level.
Steph, and that's it.
Yeah, it's Steph. That's the only person. Steph, and you could probably argue Trey or
nope.
But I don't even think that.
Don't get me started.
Clay too.
Shea inability to shoot a three. I just level that higher than Dame's gravity and what he could do at that coming out the pick and roll.
It's not even gravity. It's more like it's not the gravity in the pick and roll that he has. It's just the scoring punch.
Yeah, which is his gravity, because his ability.
No, gravity is when people come to you, so you can play.
Okay, all right. I would love to keep talking about gravity. But we gotta move on. All right, so we're gonna move to you, Khalil, for number 15.
Surprised for once that it's not me who's saying that. Wow.
All right, 12. I had Tatum at 12, but you guys already said Tatum. Jimmy hasn't been said yet, right?
Jimmy has been said by me.
Say Dame and get it over with, gang.
Jimmy's 12. SGA is 13.
And so 14 is on me.
Dame is still on the board.
Oh, Dame's still on the board. So Dame's the 14 for all the reasons I said.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, next is number 15.
We're going to move to 15th. It's back on me. Yikes. Shit, this is where it's gonna start getting interesting. I'm going to go.
He's gonna go Anthony Edwards. How much you want to bet?
No,
I'm not. He better not. He better not.
I'm not that high on Anthony Edwards. Fuck. Should I go Trey? Is this
no?
Trey
No.
Gross.
No. I don't. Me personally, I don't got him there yet, but still list, bud.
I need you guys' help because right now, I mean, I'm thinking.
I got.
Shit, D Mitch. I'm going Damian. I'm going Donovan Mitchell. I'm going Donovan Mitchell.
All right, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
You got it.
You
got it.
Donovan Mitchell. Phenomenal offensive talent. Phenomenal scoring talent. His playmaking took a little bit of a jump this year, but it's not noticeable. And defensively, he showed that he can play defense when he wants to, but it further frustrates me because for the same reasons I was pissed off at him in Utah, where I know you have the capability of playing defense, but you don't do it as consistently as you should because you want to view yourself as this offensive piece that like should be like manning and whole like a whole offense, when in actuality you should be a scoring piece and a player on the defensive end that at the very least should be a solid to good point of attack defender. So yeah, that's me on D-Mitch.
All right. And even though you guys are gonna say this is way too high, I don't give a shit. Like the beam. Fox.
Anywho.
Fox. It is Fox time. And I think, what do you mean anywho? What?
All right, buddy.
I'm not mad at it, man.
I am.
Say. What is the play? Actually, if you want to, you can switch with me. What do you want to play?
Nah, you got it. Because I already. Because my player is close to identical to your player, but.
Oh, you mean Ja? No, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was thinking about Ja, but I'm a Ja hater, so that's why I chose Fox.
I'm a Ja hater.
No.
That is a nasty,
That's literally the only reason why I
that's
went
a
Fox. I'll be
nasty
honest.
ass title.
But I kind of want you to go with Jar first. So get off your Jar take and then save my Fox take. Because let's be honest here, it's Fox.
Okay, so
it's
Jar is 17.
Yeah,
If
Jar
they're-
17,
Okay.
and I'll get off mine at 18. Go ahead, me.
Okay.
Me.
Mood.
You know, right?
Is it
Yo,
breaking up?
I think it's breaking up a little.
Mood. Do you got anything to say about Ja? Okay, can you speak on them, Zeno? Or
All right. So although Ja had a what's called a lower, it's kind of similar
Hello?
to. Oh,
Hello?
we can hear you now. Yeah. What's up?
There we go.
Oh shit, my bad. I was speaking on Ja, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you got what you call it, huh? You was about to say
He got D Fox over Ja.
No, but we're being kind of serious here. So you'll get your take first to go, John Moran. I don't want to talk about John Moran. That's why I went Fox. But go ahead.
What the fuck? Hold on. I'm trying to read off my what you call it. That bitch not working. One second. Give me 1 second. You could get off your De'Aaron Fox take right
Yeah,
quick.
talk about Darren Fox for me.
Yeah, get that off. Oh, he tripping
Okay.
too.
All right, so I'll talk. Look, I'll talk. Then. I'll talk then. When it comes to the tandem between Darren Fox and John Morant, like this debate, I feel like Quiet as kept like that. That is like on like the real like basketball knowers. That is the debate between who's better between the two, because some people value Darren Fox's ability to finish, like his finishing efficiency. But some people value John Morant's ability to get to the rim far more often than Darren Fox. So I think we should start there. So when it comes to Darren Fox, we're talking about one of the premier young slashing point guards, sort of from that.
Whoa! Why you talking about Fox? I want to talk about Fox.
Because nigga,
we was waiting on you.
Oh, my fault. Okay, so De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox, this season has
a lit ass intro too, Mo.
Like it's time for me to break up this banner again. Fox. Nice, but okay. De'Aaron Fox this season had one of his best finishing seasons at the rim, albeit on lower volume than John Morant. But the thing is, and the reason why I would love to take him over John Morant is less of the game specifically and more of the mindset. I like the fact that firstly, De'Aaron Fox has actually understand that he doesn't need to be fast all the time. He has changes of pace. The fact that he's developed himself as a good mid-range shooter means that he has one more part of his game that the offense has to worry about. I actually also like the fact that De'Aaron Fox has gotten significantly better as a playmaker, although albeit you could say it's just better. You could also say he has just better teammates now, so he can actually play me. But I'd still genuinely just say he's better. Yeah, DG says half-court offense matters. Give me Fox. Yeah, that's another thing that, like I told you, the mid-range shooting allows him to be more, what's called more efficient as a mid-range.
Stop right there. Hold on.
What?
1 second. Y'all keep on saying half-court shooting, like, bro. What other primary shot creators do my guy got?
I agree with you. I do agree with you, but I'm just talking about specifically from Fox's side. You could then go on to
I was just saying people bring up the half court.
Hold on, let Zeno finish.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because that's my whole point. That's why I'm saying you can get off your shit and then I can get off my shit, because I just wanted to get this over with because we're getting close.
I was talking about DG though. DG.
Oh, DG, I feel you.
Yeah, I was combating with you.
Yeah, he said DG. Yeah, what other shot creators does Ja have on his team? But back to what I was saying, I think the ability, his Desmond Bain as a shot creator in 2023 is crazy. But the ability to have a mid-range and also be one of the best rim finishers in the league as well as a guard is like such a great combination. As long, let's go. with his playmaking, because he's actually an improved and better playmaker. And actually, you actually saw that in the postseason that they leaned more and more into his playmaking, and it was really working for them. And that's my main reason. I think as a defender, he's actually not that bad. I'd say he's like he's decent to maybe below average or above average. He's kind of teetering around those level. So he's not even losing that much what's called value on that side of the court. So really and truly, what you're left with is a player that has a mid range. What's called one of the best rim finishers in the league as a guard with with a good mid range. The understanding of when to go to either or, and also just being a great playmaker and just being a decent defender. I think that's fine for being a number 19, or is it 18?
It's 16 for Darren Fox, 17 for John Morant.
No, I said flip it around to put Ja ahead. That's what I said.
Okay. So then Ja's 16, Darren Fox is 17.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, so you
I don't even got my guy. I don't even got my guy Fox in the top 20.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I've always been a fan of Fox.
I know. You just had to push the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, I don't even got him there.
I'm gonna let y'all know this list.
You was finished, Zeno?
Yep.
Well, I do think for Ja, people get like misconception about his like off the court shit. That's the only thing about with Ja. We barely seen Ja this whole season. When we did, he was. I do think
he had a drops this season.
Yeah, he had like a bad season.
It was kind of like a Giannis type of thing where everything in his thing was bad.
But as a finisher, he top 3 as a finisher. Just as a player, he's top 3 as a finisher. I don't even have to say guard finisher or anything to make my point better. In a pick and roll, he's one of the best pick and roll players because just his speed and his agility to get around players is one of the best. And his playmaking, Ja one of the best playmakers in the league. We can't combat that. He's like a top, I would say about 7 playmaker in the league. He's up there around like Trey range, I would say, during the playmaking stuff. But that's the only thing. And as a transition player, he's one of the best transition players in the game. We can't forget about that either. Even though I do think his three ball is
You call.
Yeah, you're muffled. You're muffled, brother.
My bad. His mid range and his 3-point, well, just jump shooting, period. It's bad for
ass. Boy.
Everything with Ja, he been doing too much shooting off the court than on the court, but
God damn. That's
but
great.
it ain't much to say about Ja, but because we know who Ja Morant is on the court. We know who it is. We know how good he is. Nothing much to say. Did y'all hear everything I said, or like just?
Yes, we did.
I heard everything you said, brother. All right, so we're going to the 18th spot. I feel like being a little fucking nasty, so I'm putting Jaylen Brown right here. Yeah,
you very nasty, man.
I feel like being nasty. Contrary to how everybody feels about Jaylen Brown, I'm actually like I have no problem with his game. I think I have the problem I have with the problem I have involving Jaylen Brown isn't necessarily Jaylen Brown himself, but the Celtics and mainly the head coach and how he continuously allows Jaylen Brown to have this level of volume, even though he's not that caliber of player. I think that's my main issue. But I think Jaylen Brown is a good defender. I think he is
on ball specifically. Remember that
he's a good on ball defender. Well, when if you want me to get into detail, then yeah, he's a good on ball defender. Off ball, he has far too many lapses where he gets lost, and he allows players to be able to get to the rim or get open shots, open threes. Actually, people don't understand like that. The main reason that the Celtics struggle with going up against Golden State is because the off-ball movement that is occurring with players like Jordan Poole last year, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, it basically, like Andrew Wiggins even, it really confuses Jaylen Brown, because Jaylen Brown, after the ball comes off of the man that he's guarding, he basically just be like, well, did my job. That's it. And that's not all that is to it on the defensive end. And it causes the Celtics far too many opportunities where they could be able to get like a couple stops that could win them the game. Because if you notice, these games are close that they lose to like some of these high impact teams like the Heat or the Warriors. And Jaylen Brown just has these lapses where he can't stay focused long enough, and then his man oftentimes is the guy that gets off, and he ends up costing the game. But on that end. But that being said, he is still an amazing finisher when he gets to the rim. He is actually, to be honest with you, his 3-point shooting is like low-key like head scratching, because there's years where like he had like shot like pretty good from the 3-point line, and now he went from average last year, right, to this year being below average. So I don't know. I don't really know how to explain that, other than maybe just a down year, I guess. I don't know. He did shoot a higher volume, so that could be the reason. Don't let this dude play make for you, because he is an absolute criminal when it comes to him with the ball.
Oh yeah, not even a smooth one, just a true criminal.
He will literally hand the ball to the defenders and say, "Here you go." He averaged 3.5 this past season, and he had 2.9 turnovers per game. So that's how bad, and it only got worse in the postseason. He went to averaging 3.4 assists a game and averaging 3.3 turnovers a game. So, yikes! And his points per game dropped. I want to say 4 points, and his efficiency dropped as well. So that's the story of my guy Jaylen Brown.
What are we at? 18 or 19?
19.
One second.
You're struggling too, right?
No, because I've already thought of a player, but I'm not sure, because there's a few players that actually should be around here. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay. Tell me if one of these names is like one that you're thinking of.
They got two players. Yeah, that's one of them.
What is it?
But they got another one too.
Pascal Siakam?
No.
What was the first one
no.
you said?
James Harden.
Okay, James Harden could be one of them. Zion, even though he didn't play much, could be another one.
Zion didn't play this season. Like, he played like 30 games. He does not count.
I mean, you still had the healthy tags, which Kawhi did. I guess Kawhi played enough.
No. Oh, well.
Yeah. I understand.
We weren't given a healthy tax until Moog got here. So if you want to follow that, cool.
True.
I'm not following that.
We already said Ditch. We could do Shay's already there. We could do Kawhi, PG. We already said Trey, right?
PG's not there. You want to put PG there?
No, I mean not Kawhi, Kyrie. I meant to say, but
we haven't said Kyrie. You're absolutely right.
I'm actually probably gonna say Kyrie at number 18.
That's a damn fine pick. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Can I flip him?
With who?
Jaylen Brown.
Go ahead.
Okay.
So Kyrie, another season of being one of the more efficient volume scorers in the league. What was it this season? Was it 25, 26?
27.2.
Yeah, so 27 point per game scorer on high efficiency. He's actually been for a while now. Of course, it was kind of a down year for a 3-point shooter, but for a while now, he's actually been shooting around 40% on high volume ever since around 2016, 17, 6.1. Okay, all right, buddy. Even when you get to Boston, yeah, he's still shooting like 6.8, 6.5, 7.1, 7.0, and that's like
even when he got to Brooklyn, he shot 40
first option tag.
All right, but he's essentially just saying that because it's not first option. That's the reason why. But
gotcha.
He's been one of the better like actual shooters in the league. And he's also a movement shooter as well, but he's less reliant on that like than real shooters like, Duncan Robinson and all that type of stuff. He's more of a shot creator, which also leads on to one of his biggest strengths. Kyrie is probably one of the better shot creators in the league that aren't superstars. He is probably the best, I'd actually say. The best shot creator in the league that's not a superstar. So you can really put
I don't have anybody outside of him. So yeah.
You can really put the ball in his hands and say create a bucket for us. Who else would you say?
I think he's a technically a superstar, but my definition is kind
No,
of
my different mine is the best player on the championship team. So no, that doesn't for me.
Yeah, I know. My definition different than yours. So
yeah,
like, I think he shied away from not being a superstar after like his LeBron years and stuff. He tried to stay away from the NBA and do his other side quests.
Other side quests. All right.
But
I agree with you. But to move back to the basketball, though, I think his shot creation being one of the best in the league, and specifically the best outside of superstars. I think the fact that he's also a good playmaker as well means that he's not bleeding into his scoring value. And then on the defensive end, he's not amazing defensively, but he gives you value on that end because he's actually willing to put in the effort on that side. So he's like an average defender on that side too. So I actually think all over together, he is valuable for this for him to be at this point. And yeah, he didn't reach the playoffs this season, but I think it's more due to circumstances rather than actually his own play. I just want to bring that one out there. But yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you. All right, Mood, you got the last pick.
What propaganda should I push today?
By the way, casual, check DMs.
I got you.
I'm gonna go with the Harden propaganda today. While Harden might not be one of the best finishers in the league, just because his volume at the rim is very low, and just his finishing ability just went away. But I think he's still a top 20 player just because he's one of the top 7 playmakers in the league he's still a very great shot creator, especially in the half court. He's one of the best half court players in the league. He added the mid range to his game also, which fits some of his efficiencies getting to the rim. The only downfall for Harden is staying consistent offensively because his defense is bad. We always knew that, but simple Harden take. That's all I got to say about Harden.
I'm not gonna lie to you. So I'm finna go off. I'm finna say these names because we're wrapped up on this topic. So number 1 is Giannis. Number 2 is Jokic. Number 3 is Curry. Number 4 is Kawhi. 5 is Luka. 6th is Embiid. 7th is AD. 8th is KD. 9th is Tatum. 10th is LeBron. 11th is D-Book. 12th is Jimmy Butler. 13 is SGA. 14 is Dame. 15 is D-Mitch. 16 is Ja. 17 is Fox. 18 is Kyrie. 19 is Brown. 20 is Harden. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not mad at this list. I'm not mad at it. I'm not.
The only odd one out is like Fox being in there. That's because I want to push some narrative.
Yeah.
And Jaylen Brown.
Oh yeah, Jaylen Brown. But yeah.
Well, no, Jaylen Brown's 19.
Yeah. Yep.
Shouldn't be there.
Should be around 20, 28, 27. Come on.
Wait, all right.
Nope, we're not having this conversation. We're moving on.
I was about to say, if you said Pascal or Bam.
Trey.
Scam? Yes.
Trey.
Or Trey.
Trey should be there.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought Trey was gonna be in there. I thought Trey was already there. That's why I never said his name.
I was gonna say Trey, but I wanted to put my
Trey didn't pop my mind. I wish you would have said something, bro.
I thought Trey was already in there. That's why I didn't say
thought
anything.
y'all was teetering between Ja and Trey.
Nobody can pick Trey in the top.
I thought y'all was teetering between Ja and Trey. That's why. It's like for me, I teeter around Ja and Trey the whole time.
Ja Fox and Kyrie and Trey, like that whole thing right there. That would have been.
I got them I got like Ant
Is Ant top 20 right now?
Nope. Can we move
Okay.
on?
All right. So we're actually 2 hours in.
You see why I keep trying to
We're
say let's
2
move on?
hours in. Shut ups, you know. All right,
Wow,
so
bully me. Oh wow.
we're
Pretty in the
moving
bliss shit, nigga.
on. No, who did this?
What team y'all talking about?
Who the hell did that?
Did what?
I ain't talking.
Oh, that's me. Fox.
You're nasty.
Fox.
Okay. All right.
What-
So we're moving on to the next topic. We're gonna be starting with the Charlotte Hornets.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I'm not about to. I'm not about to talk about Charlotte Hornets. What
That's
other team y'all talking about today?
The Utah
Utah.
Jazz.
Oh yeah. Nah. Nah.
All right, bro. If you're gonna
Alright,
dip, yeah, catch you later, bro.
Thank y'all though for the time.
Facts.
W
Facts.
show.
Thank you. See you.
So
Alright.
when it comes to Charlotte, they lost some young players and some not so young players. It was strange. It's strange off season for them.
They got
so
KPJs too.
They got KPJ.
Pretty sure they do. I might be wrong.
No way. No.
I lied. All right.
Yeah, no way. So they missed out on Kelly Oubre, which made everybody in Charlotte sad. They missed out on Theo Maledon. They lost.
Who's that?
Theo Maledon played for the Thunder and ended up getting traded to Charlotte, and now he's a restricted free agent, but they're not re-signing him.
Who?
Theo Maledon.
Who?
Okay, nigga. It's V McCaffrey. All right, basically.
Oh, I know Svi. I know Svi. He used to be on Detroit. He used to be in Detroit.
Outside of Kelly. Oh, you know who he is?
Yeah, he used to be in Detroit.
Okay. Outside of Kelly Oubre Jr. and Dennis Smith Jr., they really didn't miss out on a lot. Dennis Smith Jr. Actually, I'm a little disappointed that they didn't make an effort to re-sign him.
Wait, where is he going to?
He's going to Brooklyn, actually.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I'm a little disappointed that they didn't re-sign Dennis Smith Jr. because Dennis Smith Jr. showed like flashes of like his defensive capability.
He didn't show flashes. I think he actually had a good defensive season as a guard this season.
Exactly. And so that's why I was like, when I think of LaMelo and what he could use, I think Dennis Smith Jr. would be the perfect like combination because defensively, like he was showing ability as a point of attack defender to be like very, very good throughout the season. He was doing it against people like actual like credible offensive players. So I don't understand why they let him go, but they let Kelly Oubre go. I think Kelly Oubre should be out of the league anyway, so I'm not mad at that anyway.
Why do you think he should be out of the league? What?
Because Kelly Oubre is more of a he has Patrick Beverly type like attitude without his
talent.
Without his level of impact. Like I don't understand how a player in, let's use Dwight Howard for example. I don't see how a player in Dwight Howard can't get a spot in the NBA team, but a player like Kelly Oubre, who does absolutely nothing outside of just really be an irritant to the opposing team, is sitting on the bench collecting the check. I don't understand that. So
I'm not gonna argue.
They let them. He said what?
I'm not gonna argue. But Karen.
Yeah. So but while they lost mainly those two players, they got the number 2 pick in the 2023 draft, and they were able to get Brandon Miller. They signed Frank Ntilikina, who was originally with the Mavericks. Let's see, what else did they do? They also they signed an undrafted player, Jalen Sims. I'm not sure exactly who that is. He's a rookie though. Nick Smith Jr. also was drafted. They mainly the most of the transactions came from the draft, and they also got their lob threat back in Miles Bridges, who's coming off of, well, we won't speak on it because it's not basketball games, but he qualified for an offer extending from, I want to say, June 28, 2023. So they extended that offer to him and he signed it, and now he's back with Charlotte. So as far as their offseason goes, I guess it's really just getting back on track. They once they got LaMelo, the first 2 seasons, what it felt like was they sort of were trying to like build this team to like slowly like get into like contention and stuff. But what happened, they would like every time they would get to the play-in and they'll go against teams that are just better than them. And so
I
it's
actually think the issue with this team is that really outside of, I'm guessing they're trying to build around LaMelo. Who is the second best player? Who is the player that's supposed to bring that second tier value that, okay, he's going to be the secondary player on that team? You know who they were asking? It was supposed to be Miles Bridges, but Miles Bridges got into jail. Before that, they thought it was going to be PJ Washington, but PJ Washington hasn't even got into the stage where you believe he could get to, actually be like a star level.
They also, speaking of that, I'm glad you brought up his name. They re-signed PJ Washington. They extended him, and they also did a contract extension for LaMelo, which was a no-brainer, obviously. So, I'm with you.
They just don't have the talent around LaMelo for them to really move forward. I think that the new big that they have not new big, but the big that they have now, which is Mark Williams, that's going to be interesting and interesting to see his development. But really and truly, until you can sit here and tell me LaMelo Ball has another competent player that's going to be growing as a player with him to the point where they're at least a star level player. Who is going to be that second player for LaMelo?
But okay, that's my thing. That's my thing. The question you're asking, I'm with you. That question right there is going to be answered with Miles Bridges, and Miles Bridges isn't even good enough to be the second best player on. Even if he's at his.
I actually think I'm not gonna lie to you. I think he actually had the talent to, but I'm not sure if they're gonna.
I think he has the talent to be the second. Best player.
I think no, because if he was watching 2 seasons ago,
I was watching 2 seasons ago. Yes,
I think he was actively becoming a better 3-point shooter. His pick and roll with LaMelo was actually really good, although it was all lobs, but that's just because he was being lazy. But I actually thought that two pairing could have become really great in that PNR situation where they could become a pick and pop.
You're talking about the 2021 season where I think he started like 19 games and played like 66. He shot like 40% on.
I can't remember. I remember it was the year just before Miles Bridges was about to.
God. Miles Bridges was like 4% away from being in the 50-40-90 club by accident.
Or 2 seasons ago, yeah. All I remember is, but the only issue is when you look at this season now, that the season afterwards, and how his efficiency dropped. I feel like that's more indicating of the amount of jumps and shots that he took. He went from 9 to 15. That is a 6-shot difference. Absolutely. So I understand why he was that inefficient from 3. But really and truly, I feel like he could become a better 3-point shooter. I think that he could actually become better at the rim, because when you're playing with one of the best playmakers on your team, also playmakers in the league in LaMelo Ball, and LaMelo Ball has no issues giving you lobs, has no issues playing the short roll, also putting you in the short roll so you can roll to the rim. He has no issues with that. So I actually think that he could have become that stage where he's a star level player. Do you think he would reach like All NBA? I'm not sure, but I think he could have reached that stage. I genuinely believe so.
I think. Well, okay. So before I say, how do you feel about the fact that Miles Bridges, even in like the season where he got like more touches and like his shot attempts jumped up, he only got to the line an average of 2 times a game.
He got to the line 4 times a game.
Well, no, he shot 4 times, but like you get to the line 2 times, 2 free throws each time.
Oh, I just say that. Remember, he's 23 years old, so he hasn't figured out how to generate a lot of free throws. I don't have much issues in that. Okay, especially how athletic this player is. I don't have any issues with that. So I could say I feel like he should be focusing more at this point of time is actually trying to get to the rim and finishing. Then he can really focus on trying to draw contact and draw fouls like that. Then you can worry about that. But I'm more interested in, does he have the capability to be a high level finisher at the rim? And yes, he can. And imagine.
I think he could be a high level finisher.
Yes.
I have questions about the 3-point shooting that you're high on. I'm a little bit suspect on, because I don't think he is I don't think he'll ever be outside of like some aberration years, like the 2021 season. I don't think he's going to be like an above average or an average 3-point shooter. I think he's going to be a below average 3-point shooter, but still like respectable. Like a respectable 3-point shooter is fair enough, right? And so with that, understanding that he would be an elite finisher, like his best form of self would be an elite finisher, a quality free throw shooter, a respectable 3-point shooter, right? A solid rebounder. I don't think you spoke about that. He's a solid rebounder, right? And a for his position, like playmaking, like is whatever, right? Like we don't really care too much about a power forward being the lead playmaker.
Before to carry on with this, like I want you to understand that yes, throughout the whole season he was a 33% 3-point shooter, but as the season progressively gotten on, he actually became better and better as a 3-point shooter. Like if you do the last half of the season, it's 34%. And listen to me.
Okay.
He was a 34% on what's called nearly 6 attempts. And if you just cut it down to the last 20 games, he jumps up to a 39%, essentially a 40% 3-point shooter on 6 attempts. That's what I mean. But I think he can actually get to the stage where I'm not saying he's gonna be a 40% for a 3-point shooter. That's not coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, but you're going off of a 20-game sample size. I'm going off of like 200 games of him playing. And like the totality, like, yeah, you'll have stretches where you're shooting the lights out, right? But like for his career, for the majority, he's a below average 3-point shooter.
Yeah, I mean 34.6 on 4 attempts is
but respectable. So that's why I say although I say below average, some people need to understand, like, we really don't have 3-point shooters in the NBA like today that are just like mind-boggling like efficiency. Some of these players are average to below average. The people that are above average are actually a small percentage of players. Like we have like 400, 500 players in the NBA today. So it's like for you to be below average, that's okay. You're still respectable. So he's a respectable 3-point shooter. It's just, he's not going to be that 3-point shooter that
Miles bitches.
Yeah, he's not going to be Mikal Bridges or anything like that, right? So I'm looking at Miles Bridges' situation with Charlotte, and I guess my question when it comes to like this organization, are they finally going to slow down, right? Because even with Miles Bridges like having this capability that you and I just spoke about, right? And LaMelo, we spoke about it on Friday about the things that LaMelo would need to do. Those things take time. You cannot throw these kids into the fire expecting them to compete right away when they don't know what they're doing. Like you can see, like on the Charlotte team, outside of experienced players like Terry Rozier, Cody Zeller earlier.
Jesus, if there's one thing I didn't realize, Terry Rozier is 28. Jesus Christ. Sorry, Karen.
No. But
Jesus Christ.
You know what I'm saying? Like some of these players. Most of these players on this team, they're young. Gordon Hayward, they're young, so they don't know what they're doing, right? They're just going based off of their skill. They're thriving with their skill set that they have at their age. So giving them enough time for them to be able to understand the ins and outs of the NBA and how to manipulate the referees and stuff like that, that could go a long way. Trying to get these players to contend, for playoff spots when you're not going anywhere. And truth be told, you need more talent anyway, is the wrong idea. You need to slow down and let this team be able to, to grow. Like LaMelo needs to develop. Miles Bridges needs to develop. PJ Washington needs to develop. Brandon Miller is definitely going to need to develop.
I forgot about him. Yeah, Brandon Miller is probably going to has to be their savior to become the second best player on that team, or be the best. But I'm not sure.
How many years do you think it will take for him to be
3-4?
If they do it right.
3-4.
Exactly.
But in Charlotte, 6-7.
No, and what's sad is you're not lying. Because how long did it take for Kemba Walker to finally come on the scene?
4 or 5, maybe.
It took about 4 or 5 years. So yeah, you're not really exaggerating too much. So
yeah, I'm right. Yeah, it took him about 5-6 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's really not even that crazy. So Yeah, so that's really that when it comes to Charlotte. I think we both spoke pretty highly about them. Like they have some talent, but they need more talent and they need time for them to be able to develop. We agree on that?
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna move on to the Utah Jazz. All
The
right, we're gonna
Jazz
be
of
talking.
Utah.
Yeah,
All
the
right.
Jazz.
I do want to talk about specifically this one player. You can go on the rest of them.
Go ahead.
Utah. I'm speaking to you.
Uh-oh.
Give
Hold on, hold
me,
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
yo, Utah. Yeah. Give me Larry Markkinen, please. We would really love him in Philly with our boy Joel Embiid. Because really and truly, this season showed us that Markkinen was able to show that he can be somewhat of a shot creator. He showed he's a really elite off-ball player, whether it's catch and shoots, whether it's passing it into the post so he can just do a turnaround fade, him cutting off the ball, him playing in the pick and roll. Marketing is very versatile off-ball, and using him as a play finisher could be really useful. I also think the fact that he's actually leveled back up as a great floor spacer even puts another wrinkle into his game. Just to make sure, I just want to make sure what his stats are looking like before I carry on talking. Yeah, 39% on 8 attempts is insane for a power forward, by the way. So for him to be that elite as a shooter, I'm actually unironically, I think he's starting to. I think we need to start having a conversation. If he's able to start putting a lot more of these type of numbers as a 3-point shooter, he might start contesting Cat as a better 3-point shooter. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not now. I'm saying it's a bit too early for now, but I'm saying later on we might have to have that conversation. But back to what we're saying, him being what's called a elite 3-point shooter also opens up the offense as well because teams cannot leave him open on the 3-point line. Him also being able to beat certain people off the dribble and finish. I think one of the issues with him though is that he's 7 foot, so it's kind of hard for him to really have dribble combinations like that because smaller guards and small players in general have more time to really pick the ball off of him, right? And I think defensively, it was one of his better seasons, but he was also hidden somewhat with the rookie Walker Kessler. Yeah, he's really good. I'm not gonna lie to you, really good defensively, and I can see a potential in him. But that's what I'll have to say about him in general. I think his playmaking is also I don't think I really see much of his playmaking in general. But
again, he's a forward. He's a forward. He's playing the power forward spot. So like,
mhm.
there's not too many power forward, elite playmaking power forwards that's come across, in the league in years. Like maybe Draymond and
Sabonis when he was a power forward,
bonus. Okay, that's fair. Like how
Giannis,
many Giannis, but
Zion.
that's a super. Nah,
Zion is not when I say
I think Zion right now is like slightly better of a playmaker than Larry Markkinen, but I think
slightly. All right, let's move on.
slightly.
Carry
But
on. I don't care.
again, like when you think of all of the power forwards that's come along in the NBA, how many of them are just like elite playmakers or good good to great playmakers for their respective teams? Like, is it really that necessary? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for you.
So yeah, but so off-season recap: Utah Jazz lost Udoka Azubuike. They lost Rudy Gay, who went
Mhm.
to OKC, I believe. Um, they lost Damian Jones and Juan Toscano Anderson. Damian Jones, I saw a little bit of him in the Utah Jazz uniform. He looked like a little solid of a lob threat, but that was about it. So I'm not really tripping on him being gone. I think he signed with Cleveland. And Juan Toscano Anderson, good riddance. They added John Collins. They traded for him from Atlanta. Um, I think if you guys were here for the Atlanta episode, we spoke about how John Collins has been begging to be traded, and now he has an opportunity to play alongside another elite big man and Lauri Markkinen, and it's looking like a competent head coach. People are not talking about the head coach.
Walker Kessler, Larry Markkinen, and John Collins trio looking nice. Not gonna lie.
Oh shit! I forgot about. Wait, how is that going to work?
You just slide John Collins to the small forward,
or would you put Markkinen at the
no? So slide him down to the small forward.
Well, John Collins has the size too. I think he'd just be a bad defender. And also, along with forget all of the rest of the time. I mean, they signed Omer Yurtseven from Miami, but
yeah, he ain't gonna be doing shit.
So is that really moving you?
Nope.
They re-signed Jordan Clarkson.
Interesting.
And Johnny Juzang. But forget all of that. This is the guy that I'm excited about. You're talking about Lauri Markkinen. Utah Jazz. Take care of my boy Keontae George. This kid is going to be a baller for the Utah Jazz. And I'm telling you from watching him in college. I don't watch a whole lot of college basketball. I'm not even going to pretend that I do. But I watched Baylor because Keontae George was a show. That dude gets buckets. Now, the one thing that I am curious about is how his playmaking will develop over the next couple of years, playing an NBA system, and seeing if he can be able to make these reads and if he can be able to play alongside player and Walker Kessler, John Collins, Lauri Markkinen in a pick and roll setting, as a competent playmaker, ball handler. But one thing I ain't got to worry about is his scoring ability. He is very efficient, very mobile with his ability to be to operate within the perimeter and be able to get into the lane and create. I don't know how good of a finisher he's going to be in the NBA because he does tend to lean more towards more difficult acrobatic finishes and stuff like that. So that could hinder him from being like an elite finisher. But even still, getting to the rim just period is always welcome because it can result in you getting up in the hierarchy as far as free throw attempts and stuff like that, which is always good for teams. So I'm very high on Keontae George. But as far as the Utah Jazz go, period, what is your thought on what the next steps needs to be for them?
Give Colin Sexton more reps. He deserves more reps. I need me some more Colin Sexton gameplay. Let's go.
How is he going to get Colin Sexton? How is Colin Sexton going to get?
I'm half joking.
Oh, I was about to say, how are they going to do that? Keontae George?
Trade him away to a team that needs his scoring. I want to see development from Colin Sexton. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's tough that he got traded here because I thought he would be starting and he actually be showing flashes of the player he is. But then they kind of just said, yeah, no. Plus he got injured again, so that was kind of tough to watch.
He did get injured again. I'm not gonna ask you that question because that'll force us to have to go into a deep dive of finding teams and stuff like that. I was gonna ask you, what team do you see possibly trading for Colin Sexton? Because I agree. I think this year would be the year that Colin Sexton is up on a trade block. Young assets or draft picks that could be able to come to Utah. But I mean, that would be
the weird thing is when you sit down and think about what team really needs a young guard. Most of the teams that you think of already have a young guard that unless you want to say fucking San Antonio Spurs, but I don't even think he will work there.
I don't think he'll work there either because I think he's more of a me ball rather than a we ball, and Greg Popovich likes players that operate within the team.
The Trailblazers already have their own thing. Houston Rockets are definitely not going to want him, because then they will have two shoot first players. That's crazy as their guards.
Miami doesn't want him because they already have a shoot first shooting guard in Tyler Hero.
Yeah, Utah Jazz doesn't want him because
Milwaukee?
The Milwaukee
as a bench, as a six man.
Mm-hmm. Dallas Mavericks, no. The OKC definitely doesn't need him. Pelicans, no. The Wolves already.
Wait a minute.
Why would the Pels want him?
Because who do
they already have their first and second scoring options already. They don't need a third punch coming.
Well, well, okay. If I imagine if you're trading for Colin Sexton, you're trading for him to be like a sixth man, seventh man, right? So he's coming.
That's the issue. I'm not thinking of that. I'm thinking more of a starter and trying to grow like
Oh
that.
no,
That's why I'm saying.
I don't view Colin Sexton as a starter. So yeah,
Yeah, that's the difference between me and you. I'm actually thinking from a starter perspective.
okay.
Um,
If that's the case, no, there's no team. Every
yeah.
team is pretty locked and set with their guard play. But if you're looking for a
Toronto
player,
Raptors. Toronto Raptors is the only road team I'm thinking of, actually. Because they don't have Van Fleet.
they
And
don't anymore.
yeah.
What are they gonna do?
They have I think they still have Gary Trent, but then they have a point guard issue who's like
He's so bad. Yeah,
the
he's so
only
bad.
guard that they have now is Malachi Flynn, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I would rather my boy play over there. So
But yeah, I think I'm with you. I think looking at Utah, I also want to say that I think their young talent is pretty primed right now. Like I think Laurie Markkinen, like as an offensive piece, like running this team, I think would do wonders for them. I think that they sort of extended their timeline a little bit because the whole Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert thing was getting stale. So I think they extended their timeline for contending for playoff spots. They
mhm.
just have to build around it. Now, this is also my question to you: does Larry Markkinen strike you as a player that can be the best player on the team
No,
this year? Okay,
second or third best player.
second or third best player. So, do you think that they should continue to contend, or do you think that they should, basically try to
Trade him
get?
and flip, probably trade and flip for something else. Because I don't think he can be. Well, how old is Marketing? It's like 26 now.
Markkinen, I believe, is 26. Give me one
20.
second.
Yeah, he's gonna be 20. He's gonna be 26 next year. That was good next season. So
Okay.
yeah, I just don't see it. I just don't see Marketing ever being in a position to be the best player in the league. I just don't see him getting to that stage. And I don't think that there's going to be a player on that team that's going to be elevating themselves to that stage anytime soon. So I'd rather capitalize on what you have on him in the next 1 or 2 seasons before injury. If hope to God, before I say this, any injuries gets to him. That's what I believe.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we both agree. To summarize, Utah Jazz off season has been relatively successful. They did everything that they were supposed to do. They drafted the right player. They re-signed Jordan Clarkson, which is a good thing. I think the next step we both agree that they should do is search for trading Colin Sexton and seeing what they a young talent or a draft capital that they could be able to get to further, cement them as a continuous playoff team and hopefully a title contender. I think that they have that possibility, but they would have to make some moves, obviously, for them to better fit all of these pieces. Because right now, it just looks like a whole bunch of pieces that are just like really, really nice and talented young players. But that is going to do it for this episode. We are going on 2 hours and 27 minutes.
Yeah, because of your
That's
glazing.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. That's really not even that bad. I thought that we were going to teeter more towards 3 hours the way that we were going with the top 20 players.
You.
No way you're just gonna throw me under the bus like this.
Yep, pretty much.
Okay, fuck you. All right. But we'll be seeing you later on this week for another episode of Zeno's TV.
Full court press.
Yeah, and then I'll see you guys back here Sunday for another off-season episode, and that'll be that. Thank you guys for coming.
See ya.
That was a lot of viewers.